Hello
Hi.
and welcome to the No So Podcast, your weekly home for all things wrestling. And this week, we're gonna slap you in the face like Will Smith did to Chris Rock,
It's work. Checks out.
as it's WrestleMania week, guys.
I'm an old school worker.
Maybe Chris Rock said it was Blanchard Country and he got what he deserved.
No, I'm old school. I'm
how
old
dare
school.
you, first off.
I'm old school Carney. I believe if it's on television and you can make money off it in any way, it's a work.
I think Will Smith was yelling.
So, the Kennedy assassination?
Work.
last thing.
Oh, come on. LBJ set that shit up.
There it is.
Jack
Ruby?
When they muted the TV,
Distant cousin.
I think Will Smith was yelling that this is Blanchard country.
Keep the Blanchards out of your fucking mouth, is what he said.
That's what he
That's
said.
why,
Twice
and that's
on
why he got
TV.
slapped for bringing up those no good Blanchards. That's why he got slapped.
No,
That's
you're wrong.
Big difference.
Big
Hey, at least
difference.
Chris Rock sold for Jeff Jarrett once.
Any great.
Didn't sell for Will Smith.
But
That means Jeff Jarrett greater than Will Smith.
And the Blanchards. Yeah, checks out.
No, that's not true.
That's untrue. But one thing that is true is I'm your host, Joseph Lessel.
For now.
I'm alongside here with the Human Wrestling Database, Corey Mack.
I slip it in every once in a while just to see if he's paying attention.
Am I missing something foreboding?
We got talks.
We got talks.
This is Blanchard country. Little do you know, I may or may not know the distant. Well, it's not distant to them, but he's not talked about much. But there is a third Blanchard. It's a cousin, not a brother, but there's a Blanchard cousin.
The Hillbilly Jim.
No. But you know, Danny Blanchard, he's around and he knows what's going on. Just let you know that.
Does he wear shoes? Like he's a loser cousin.
Yes, Danny Blanchard wears shoes.
His bub is a loser.
And the guy who's not wearing shoes right now is the chosen one, Mike Google.
Correct. I'm wearing socks though. I'm not a loser. And hey yo, Marks, what's happening? Love wrestling. Did I do it right?
I think you
Bitch.
nailed it. Guys, it's WrestleMania week, so we get to mark out No-So later on for the show. But let's talk about something that we're more excited for.
German snuff porn.
Glacier.
Glacier is in the German snuff porn.
Blood runs cold.
It just
That's what it's called.
Glacier is the word to describe his ejaculation.
No, it's called
Glacier is my safe word.
Glaciers is going to be actually called Frozen Chunks.
Glacier.
No, guys.
What?
What are we talking about?
We're off the rails.
Pow!
Pow pow.
Bump.
Pro Wrestling's WrestleFest.
WrestleFest, son.
Got quite the
This is a fucking
quite
lineup.
the lineup so far. I can't
Damn.
wait to hear some of these matches that are announced.
So we
They've
have
announced two today.
They've announced two, but
They're the ones we know of.
let's break down the roster that they've announced so far. We got ourselves
He looks like he's part of the Brew Crew.
Midnight Heat. Will be showing up. Reno Scum.
Yeah.
I saw them in. I think you were with me. We saw them in Defy.
You know Scum, Luster the Legend.
Sandra Moon.
Yeah, Sandra Moon.
El Phantasmo.
Bullet Club.
That pops people.
And that-
People are excited
Have
about
you
that.
Have you seen the shirt he came up with?
No.
With Bullet Club, they're having the issue.
splintered.
They're kicking out
God,
G-O-D. And then El Phantasmo came up with the shirt, and it's the Job Squad, but it says G-O-D, and it's just
Yeah.
like, they can never win.
That's so good.
And like, I just saw that it's just Thomas, like, you son of a bitch.
Things aren't looking good. Things aren't looking good for God. It's one thing to turn them out of the Bullet Club. It's another thing to put them in a faction with Ryosuke Taguchi and Master Wato.
I'm just going to say that Jeff's not here. We've talked way too much about Japan already. We need to move on.
Okay, moving on. Davey Richards
Started
will be there.
after he left.
The American Wolf, Davey Richards.
You ever seen him rise live?
Not live.
That's exciting for you.
It is. That's gonna be a good one.
Rocky Romero.
See, so El Phantasmo being announced should have been a clue to me that Rocky Romero was likely to be here. Any place there's a New Japan star working a show, more often than not, Romero's there because he's the guy who brings them all in.
He's the young boy.
He's the negotiator for North American appearances for New Japan for the most part. Unless you're, Jay White probably doesn't have to go through. But I don't know.
And they announced it today. It's going to be Kevin Blackwood taking on Vinny Massaro for the POW Pro Wrestling Championship.
Go Blackwood, baby.
It's going to be a great match, but I have no doubt that Vinny Massaro will retain.
No, he's
keep
losing
his
that title.
title.
He's losing it. Guaranteed.
And then the match.
And then another match that they announced that retweet this, but I'm just going to say it now. Put it in my veins! As it's Malcolm Flex versus Hammerstone in a no DQ, no countout match for the number one contendership
Flex about to get that ass beat.
for the Power Championship.
Vinny's losing. Flex is losing. Sam was taking hits, son.
This biased officiating and podcasting by yous.
I'm just speaking the truth. I'm just spitting facts.
It's
I'm from West Philly, like Will Smith.
I'll say this:
We just slap the truth out of people.
You're
We're not talking truth.
one G.I. Jane 2 joke away from getting your ass.
Oh God, here he comes. But I'm excited for it so far. The 2 matches announced and the roster and more to come.
Mordecai?
Yeah, Mordecai. He's showing
Bring
up.
Mordecai back.
Damn. We want Mordecai.
We want Mordecai. Is he actually the third cousin?
Yeah, he's Danny Blanchard.
Mordecai Blanchard.
Yeah.
Are the Amish now?
That's why he's the cousin.
You don't worry about that.
That guy. I would really worry about that
I
guy.
turned butter once or twice.
For April 23rd, get your tickets now for WrestleFest. Go to powerprowrestling.com and get your tickets.
It'll be a great show.
You damn near missed out already on VIP front row, so, if you didn't get them, I don't know what you're doing. You're making bad choices.
As
what you're
of
doing.
right now, there's only three
What the hell
VIP.
are you thinking?
3 VIP tickets
So,
left.
get those tickets, dude.
tickets.
Yo, VIP, let's kick it.
There it is.
April
Word
23rd.
to your mother.
Dun, 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 dun.
Under pressure.
It's different. You see, it does.
He's not wrong. It is different. Queen needs to back it up.
It's still plagiarism. You can change one note and still plagiarize. That is straight up theft.
Exactly. That's how the Beatles got popular. I just stole everything.
But get your tickets now for WrestleFest. As Corey's, as he is now telling himself that he's going to the moon, as he's.
Well, I would joke, but then I remember he likes hip hop, where they literally stole most beats from everything else. So
Sampled, son.
at first, it wasn't sampling; it was straight up stealing.
If you go back and listen to Nirvana,
Why the fuck would you do that?
because Dave Grohl took disco.
Yeah, he used the drum beat from Chic.
He's only a good member of that band. Jesus.
Oh, that reminds me. Rest in peace, Taylor Hawkins. That was a trip.
Yeah, that was rough.
I guess
Read that Stamos tweet.
his heart was 3 times the size right now.
Damn,
That's not good.
that sucks. It's only 50, man.
50.
50, and yet I love them, but Keith Richards, he's right there. Just saying.
But
Just saying.
I'll come back. But we're gonna do. It's WrestleMania week,
Smania.
but there's. Go ahead.
I have a little on-air production here. In terms of mark out or no, so let's go in order of when they're going to happen. So we need to start Friday with Ring of Honor.
Okay, gotcha.
Chronological, like.
Well, the producer is doing her producer things, and she has ordered almost every single pay-per-view available this upcoming week.
This is accurate. Can confirm.
Can confirm. We will be
Big 10-4.
We have the Supercard ROH Supercard of Honor. We have the.
Can I say I will take the L. I will eat the crow. I didn't think they were going to have a show on April 1st. They announced it in December. I was
We
like,
still don't think
bullshit, they are.
Well, I think there was until Khan came out.
Well, they're lucky they're doing it. He does not want to do it. And he wanted to cancel. But when he bought them, there were so many tickets sold. And he did not want to disappoint fans who had bought tickets. Yeah. So he's going to go ahead and do this show. He has always stated since AEW started, he is vehemently against doing anything on WrestleMania weekend, piggybacking them, giving them time of day. He does not want to do it. And that's why he didn't.
Honestly, because he wants to watch WrestleMania. Right. He's busy.
And that's why he didn't want to do this show. He didn't want to do anything WrestleMania weekend, but it is already. He's a nice guy. He didn't want to disappoint the fans who already paid money and some of the wrestlers who were already booked.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay. So he changed it a lot. We still don't even know all the matches, but he changed some of the stuff, got rid of some of the guys who were going to be there. Killer Cross was all of a sudden no longer on the Ring of Honor
I
show.
feel like we might get a cameo from a couple people. I suspect.
He has gone so far as to say on social media, don't switch over to any other wrestling show once the main event ends. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Watch our show completely. What that means, I don't know,
But we'll
The
find
forbidden
out.
door.
but that's what he said.
So that's on Friday, but the March 31st, that is Thursday,
Oh.
right? We have
Jesus.
Glory. It's the GCW, the Collective, and it's 12 shows. We have Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 8, Joey Janela's Spring Break 6, Part 1. We have a deathmatch tournament at midnight at Planet Death. LA Fights versus JCW. That's their
two feeder systems.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, GCW has like more developmentals than WWE.
Yep. For the Culture 3,
Gringo
Gringos,
Locos, the
Gringo.
world.
Gurgo Locos.
Gurgo Locos, the World on
Juice
Lucha.
World on Lucha, apparently. What's happening
Janela's Spring Break Part 2 at midnight. Effie's Gay Brunch.
there? That's at 1 a.m., sir.
Was that 1
That's
a.m.?
at 1
At 59 a.m. That's at 1 a.m. Eastern time.
So 11.
No, 12:59.
Yeah, 12. Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock our time.
Mission Pro Wrestling, Bangers Only.
Bangers and mash.
Unsanctioned Pro Mulligan and Black Label
good
Pro
dinner.
Norm.
So good.
But we have all that, and then Friday we have
There's literally not enough time in the day
you.
to do this.
I could not watch all of this.
Like, I don't understand how this is possible.
I'm gonna try. I know I can't because I'm seeing Morbius this week.
Now go
Hashtag
back to April 1st.
Hashtag humble brag.
April 1st.
So
So Planet Death at midnight or 1
So
a.m.
for the Culture, which I'm sure is going to be a great show.
Yeah.
But Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor is on at 5. And which one do you think most fans are going to be like, that's what I'm watching?
Not for the culture.
Well, they're going no for the Cultures at 1.
Yeah, that's true.
Is
So it's Gringo Locos.
Gringo
Yeah.
Locos at
It's,
5:30?
Gringo Loco, it's actually one of the ones I'm interested in. He's got some really interesting
He's-
luchadors from Mexico.
And Johnny Lucha.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he'll be there.
I think he's in there.
But there's some like,
Catch it later, I guess.
there's some new guys that I've never seen from Mexico that he's bringing in. So that's an interesting one. But like why?
But she bought that. Then she bought the Fight Fest. That includes.
Also Thursday.
This is also Thursday. I think these are all podcast stuff. So like the Major Wrestling Figure, Impact Multiverse of Matches.
Yeah, that's cool. In fact, 10 p.m. Eastern, so 7.
7 are
That's
of the
going to
show.
be interesting. The Briscoes are booked for 2 pay-per-views at the same time. They're working the Ring of Honor Supercard and the Impact
I'm
Multiverse
guessing they
of
probably
Matches.
open the Ring of Honor card, would be my guess.
Be my guess. Because they're working both shows.
Yeah.
They're taking on, so it's interesting too. They're taking on, of course, FTR at the Ring of Honor show. They're taking on
the Good Brothers.
the
right?
Good Brothers at the Impact show.
That's unfortunate.
So
But then there was that, and then also like all the specials that coming out of they own the Super Show with Conrad, Jarrett, Regal now, Jeff Hardy, and
Freeshows.com.
yep, that's gonna be there. So
is the newest ad-free guy going to be there? Ric Flair?
is that
He said, he's going over to Conrad's. That's what he did. He lied to Mark. He said the show was canceled, when in reality, he's jumping over to Conrad. And the only way Mark Madden found out is because Conrad had enough respect for him to text him and tell him what's going on. Rick was just going to do his usual. I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, he's the greatest ever, though, guys. He's super awesome.
Well, he is the best wrestler, one of the greatest wrestlers.
Brett's
I
still here, though, so
yeah.
I doubt that.
I can separate the two. It's kind of like I don't mind watching old Hulk Hogan matches. He's a racist piece of shit, but I don't mind
I can
watching
separate too, just Brett's better.
Yeah.
I'll just say this.
so.
I'll just say this when
Brett is always right.
There it is.
I
4 out of
did
10.
watch the for the next Monday Night War Stories, which you can listen to at nosoundtainment.com. I was so confused, and you'll know why when you begin watching it. I'll leave it at that. That's what we call cliffhanger. So we have all this
Stallone
wrestling.
movie.
Huh?
Just a Stallone movie.
There it is. We have all this.
Oh, that was working 20 minutes ago, so that's bullshit.
We have all this wrestling that we're talking about, but we have WrestleMania. We were going to talk about in a bit, but we had some news of one Triple H announcing that he's retired. He's retired from in-ring. So,
Well, it's
he,
we knew he was retired.
well, yeah, but
We didn't need this.
We
They
finally
need the
got
official.
the details of the health scare in September, and Jesus,
Heart
that does
issues all over the
not
place.
sound fun.
Heart issues all over the place, son.
He's got a defibrillator.
Basically, Jim Valley said that it hit really close to home because it's almost the same shit going on with him that he went through last year.
It's the exact same thing that happened to Jerry Jarrett. He has the same thing Triple H does now. Damn. Yeah. Actually, Cornette told a really good story on this week's experience.
Damn.
That Jarrett, because he has one of those defibrillators and it just shocks you when you need it, just without warning, just does it for you. Mm-hmm. And he was at a movie and it popcorn flew in the air because it shocked the hell out of him.
That would freak me the fuck out.
But yeah, so he's done in ring. He's done in ring.
His last match, Triple H and Shinsuke Nakamura defeating Finn Balor and Samoa Joe in Tokyo, Japan.
Now, the one, they don't talk about that one. The one they talk about is the one with Randy Orton.
Yeah.
That's the one they talk about as being his last match.
But revisionist WWE history again. Shocker. But yeah, no, it's I'm fine with it.
So, Ulala brought this up, Mr. Ulala.
Yeah. Mr.
What's
Ulala.
your favorite Triple H matches?
I mean, it's pretty hard for me to go against what Ulala posted, but off the top of my head, I like the street fight at the Raw in Madison Square Garden in September '97, and then you go ahead and you go on to the Cactus Jack at Rumble 2000. You hit the Iron Man match with Rock. You hit Jericho at Fully Loaded 2000. The 3 Stages of Hell with Austin at No Way Out 2001. Shawn at SummerSlam 02.
his matches with Taker at Mania.
And then, like, he had a really good Jeff Hardy title match at, like, No Mercy 08 in Portland.
Oh, yeah, the one that I was at.
Wow.
And that's probably his
Damn.
last big, like, what I would call, like, vintage Triple H match. After that, he was almost done. Everybody forgets he somehow, because he's who he is, right? But he kind of under the radar retired at the same time Shawn did. Shawn had his last match at WrestleMania 26. Triple H puts over Sheamus the next month at Extreme Rules, and then doesn't have a match for another year.
Yeah.
And then only wrestles at WrestleManias, right? Like
Pretty much, yeah.
it's somehow it's kind of slid under the radar, but he kind of quits at the same time.
I think my favorite's probably the Rumble match with Cactus Jack.
I mean, it's a
That match
classic.
is just absolutely brutal.
Everybody forgets about the fabulous, and I say this facetiously because it's one of the worst matches ever. Triple H and Vladimir Kozlov for the title at Survivor Series 08.
The setup with the arm wrestling match.
And then, like, it's so bad. And then, like, 15 minutes into it, like, Vicky just brings Edge out to, like, spear somebody and win the title. It's just so bad.
But yeah, I agree with like what Mr. Ulala said about those matches. You know, the Mania matches were great. Yeah, it's that weird thing of we knew he was gone.
The triple threat with, at 20, yeah.
When we knew with him and Steven.
Yeah, when Stephen Richards wins the world title.
Like we knew he was done with in-ring, but it's just like the hearing from himself of like him getting choked up, bringing up to the fact like, well, I have family and that's more important than wrestling.
It absolutely is.
But
Although,
he's
in his-
still going to work 75 hours a
And
week.
I was going to say, in
And
his case, that's a moot point because the family is wrestling. And
yeah.
so really it's, you know, if you think at least one of those daughters isn't going to be in the business, you're nuts.
But because of Triple H, we have WrestleMania Moments, and I believe one WWE came out their top 5.
Oh, they did.
As
And I
only
did not-
they
and-
can.
and I did not know about this.
So, this is what WWE selected as their top 5 WrestleMania moments. Now, before I read this list, gentlemen, you probably have a good idea in your head of what that should be, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I got
yes.
a good idea.
So let me know how many of these, A, you would have on your own list, and how many of these are like, what? So number 5, HBK winning the title at WrestleMania 12.
It would be on mine. I was a huge Shawn Michaels fan, so the boyhood dream has come true. Is there showing it on the TV screen right now?
Uh,
I would have it on mine, but maybe not 5.
Okay, fair enough.
It'd be 1. No, I'm kidding. It would be in my top 10 for
Well,
sure.
this would be your number 1 then, probably. Number 4 in the history of WrestleMania, Becky Lynch winning in the main event of WrestleMania 35.
Not even
Absolutely
close.
not. The pin was botched, and that show went 87 hours. And by the time she won, everybody just wanted the fuck out of that building.
Just like, no.
So no.
Okay, somehow this is number 3. Hulk Hogan slams Andre.
It'd be
I mean, it's for sure in the top 5.
something
It'd be in
from
the
Hulk
top 10,
Andre
yeah.
is in my top 5. It's not the slam though. As great as it was.
This number 2. Seth Rollins cashes in.
No.
I mean, memorable moment. It would not be in my top
Jesus,
5.
It's not in my top fucking 10.
No, it
the
would not.
fuck out
No.
of here with that Seth Rollins shit.
any-
We talked about it. That shit ruined a great match.
Yeah, if anything, it pisses me off because it ruined what was my favorite main event in WrestleMania history.
That fucking match is brilliant, and that dumb shit runs in and ruins it. Fucking Seth Rollins. Seth fucking Rollins.
Seth Rollins is going to learn in like whatever fucking, I can't even give you the exact day because they have 2 fucking days for the show now.
I'll pull up
this
the card.
weekend. He's going to learn that wrestling has more than one royal family.
Adrenaline
In my soul, they made me get rid of my shitty tattoo.
And number 1.
That'd be amazing if that happened.
So, Joe,
Yes.
I already told Corey this. What do you think WWE picked as their number 1 moment in the history of WrestleMania?
Don't you wish your mania was hot like me?
If
Yes.
WrestleMania moment,
What do you think they picked for number 1?
Obviously, 2 doinks and WrestleMania 9.
Fight me.
I'm gonna throw it out of that wild card. No,
To the
it won't
best
be-
of
it
my
won't be him.
to the best of my
The best
recollection, brother.
Hogan.
No.
What is it?
Brock Lesnar ending the streak.
Oh, of course it is.
So,
It belongs in there, but
Not-
I've got one glaring omission. Austin hitting the stunner, Tyson counting the pin.
Yep.
How is that not in there?
didn't make mine. It should have made theirs.
Yeah,
But it didn't
for
make
them.
mine.
Like, how would,
Yeah.
to me, one of the ones that is
Maybe get
in
rid of
mine-
Becky and put Austin in there.
One of the ones that's definitely my top 5 that probably won't be on your guys's, but it's an enduring memory I still think of every time I think of Mania is Austin arching up with the blood running down his face while he's in the sharpshooter and he won't quit.
And
That
what
to me
and what
is
I
my
consider the greatest match of all time.
So do I. That I consider that to be the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. I don't downplay the Shawn Taker matches, but the Bret Austin match is far more to my style. It's to my cup of tea.
So good.
It's the greatest WrestleMania match of all time.
Can I give you guys my top 5
Please do.
WrestleMania moments?
Yeah.
So Hogan saves Bret and wins the title valiantly.
I just wrote that 5 times. Does that count?
Yeah.
So number 5 for me, super kick, pedigree, kick out.
Such an awesome combo. I watched it on replay and bought it. I was like, God damn, he's gonna do it.
Yep, I love telling that story. So Corey and I watched it live. We thought he beat him, and so we watched the DVD like 3 months later. We thought he lost. We know how the match ended. And we
We're like,
thought
God,
he lost
We
anyway.
bought into it again.
It's so good. Number 4, Hogan slamming Andre for me. Yours is the stare down, right?
Yeah,
That's the moment you like.
The light bulbs going
Yeah.
off and they're just staring. Because to me, it's all about the anticipation.
Yeah.
You've built to that moment, and here it is.
Number 3 for me, I'm sorry. I love you.
That's what I was kind of thinking too. But then I'm like, I don't think they want to put themselves with Flair yet.
Now they're
so.
down on Flair.
Seth Rollins, though. Number 2, Brock ends the streak.
Yeah.
And number 1 for me,
How is this not on there?
Rock Hogan at WrestleMania 18.
stare down.
I mean,
Going
it's
from
just,
side to side,
you
looking
know.
at the crowd.
I get goosebumps to this day anytime I watch the match, specifically anytime when he hulks up at the end.
See,
like
like-
that pop in that crowd is undeniable, even though that guy's a piece of shit. Oh my god.
I'm not against WWE storytelling when it's good and they put effort into it and like
They 2 veterans realized in that match that Hogan was the face, and they switched. They just went with it.
and while what I don't understand.
I mean, Hogan changed nothing about his work style. He's been a heel since 1984.
Yeah.
But
What I don't understand is Vince. This is the company where the world title doesn't have to go on last.
yeah,
So why this one show is he so goddamn adamant that the Jericho and Triple H have to close the show? They have to close the show. That should have closed the show.
You got one
because it did, in fact, close the show.
You
Nobody
got-
else cared after
You
that.
got one of those biggest, probably if not the biggest. Follow this.
Well, that crowd was spent. That crowd
Yeah.
had nothing left.
Yep.
You can't do that to a crowd and expect them to sit for another. It was like another hour
And this
of
is
that
where-
show.
And that match is a perfect example of where I differ from quote unquote just straight up work rate fans.
But that's not a work rate
Because
match.
that match is great.
On
And
work rate, it's 2.25.
as much as I don't agree with Cody Rhodes about 99.99% of the time.
Be careful. He did end racism, so tread lightly here.
Easy, my dude.
Well, maybe he's signed here just to cure the thing in Saudi Arabia. He's like, I've cured racism. Let's go sort that out.
Middle East peace.
He's
go
gonna
get Middle East peace.
He's gonna cure Saudi
And then
Arabia.
next, he's going to go to New Japan and bring Korea together. I don't know, what are we doing here?
It's the American Nightmare, buddy. He can do anything.
Jesus.
So, but the one thing I agree with him on is that's wrestling. That's pro wrestling. That match is a great.
He calls it the greatest match of all time.
It's not.
It's not.
But it's great.
It is my favorite match of all time.
I will tell you.
I love that match.
Where I differ from work rate fans, to me, star ratings isn't just about work rate. It's the overall presentation of the match. Rock Hogan, to me, is 4.5 stars. Because it's not always about work rate. Those two worked that match perfectly.
Not 5 stars, huh?
No, not quite. Not quite. I wouldn't.
Why not 5 stars?
You know, it's funny. There's just something. I can't explain it always, but when I watch a match the first time and the bell rings, I know exactly if I think it's 5 stars. And if I don't have that feeling right off the bat, I can't give it 5. 4.75, 4.5. I can't tell you. It's weird because I don't think there's anything missing from the match. They couldn't have done anything better. Yeah, I don't know. But it's great. It's a classic.
It's so good.
And I would easily rate it that much because it's not about moves, the ratings to me.
Brother.
It's about the overall presentation. It's what they do. It's how they do it.
I just want to stop recording this and watch that match.
Right?
That's all I want to do now is watch that match.
I think Kevin Nash is an underrated worker. Am I telling you he's a move guy? No. But I'm telling you the stuff.
John Cena's a great worker. People could piss me all they want when I say that. He's a great worker for his style.
Yeah.
He doesn't do Kenny Omega Young Buck shit, but he shouldn't have to.
You're right. Like, he should never do that cutter off the ropes again.
Ever again.
But yes.
Or learn from Nick Wayne, who does it flawlessly.
Yes.
Power Wrestling veteran, by the way. Nick Wayne. There it is.
There it is.
Somebody's going to get their ass kicked.
So,
get their wood
yeah, that was their top 5 moments because they're morons.
That's idiot. It's dumb.
I mean, Jesus
They
Christ.
also left SummerSlam 92 out of their original poll of greatest SummerSlams.
Yeah, so there's that. You know, like maybe the greatest SummerSlam of all time.
Just possibly. And, didn't even make the cut.
And if you guys think about that, think about for later this summer. That might come up again here at NoSunentertainment.com. Just keep that in your mind. If you like SummerSlam 92 or not.
Thank God premium live events aren't competition to pay-per-views.
Thank
That's
fuck.
all we have to say.
Thank fuck.
Wow.
So speaking of Mania, Joe, is it time?
I think it's time.
Oh God.
We're gonna mark out no-so, guys,
Oh Jesus.
for
Everybody,
WrestleMania
grab a snack.
38.
Grab a
I thought we were
snack.
gonna do this in
Buckle in.
chronological order.
Oh yeah, it's ROH.
Yeah. Well, we don't even know all the matches, but we can talk about what we do know.
Let me look it up right now.
He loves to fight.
My name is Finley.
Well, while you're looking it up, the card. It happens Friday night after SmackDown. The Hall of Fame.
And hell froze over.
They can't give him a live mic, right?
From threatening to kill people in the company
Yeah.
to getting a Hall of Fame nod. All right.
The Steiner brothers are in. So I got. So,
I pray to God.
You can't give him a live
I
mic.
pray to God.
I mean, I want them to so badly.
It's alive. It's live.
It's live and a live mic.
I mean, there has to be at least one guy on Twitter who's used to be in the business and working indies and all that. He's like, I pray to God they give like a 9-hour tape delay to the Scott Steiner speech.
So
we just
I
have him
have-
cut it Thursday night.
so you guys in the group text something information about the Steiners, and then a good friend of the show, Stryker, did the same thing, but he did quotes,
Yes.
and he goes, "This is what he thinks Scott Steiner's going to start off with." So thank you for everyone for the induction, and then applause, and then you go, "Wow, that wasn't so bad." And one more thing, Ric Flair, you old bastard, you're no fucking Buddy Rogers.
I'm hoping for a Triple H. Like,
That's where I responded. Like, also weird thing that Triple H is having health issues right now.
yeah.
Because,
he won't be there fucking sitting face front.
Then I said, He responded, Smojo, is he still around? No? Oh, well, he's fat.
You fucking fat half-breed. Triple H, damn right you had a heart attack, you little pussy.
But yes, the Steiners will be
So how about that Hall of Fame class? 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Steiners, Vader,
Yep.
Taker,
Yeah.
and
That's
Sharmell.
Took a tour of nose down there at the end.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Should start. I should
Maybe
have
open that.
started.
Maybe open with that one.
It's
Yeah.
a Haas Hall of Fame until you get to Sharmell.
Shout out to Paisley.
Taker's by far
He's the headliner.
well, he's the headliner, but I was thinking like in terms of shoot badness, he's easily the least of the bunch.
Yeah, it's Vader.
Yeah, it's Vader, then Scott and Rick. They could fight over 2 or 3. I don't know which one gets where.
And then Sharmell.
And then Sharmell, then Taker.
Sharmell put it on you.
And then the Warrior Award is
For
Shad
Shad.
Gaspard,
But
which they said they should just rename
They should
it.
rename it the Shad Gaspard
Because
Award.
Warrior's a racist piece of shit, which we explained why it's still called the Warrior Award. Vince likes it.
And his wife is real Linda Hogan. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my God.
Why is that, Corey?
She's a real warrior.
There it is.
There it is.
So the Super Card of Honor card.
Was we with JTG then? Gonna accept that for him?
That'd be cool if you did.
That'd be cool.
We'll see. There's 6 matches already announced.
Yeah.
For the interim ROH Women's World Championship, it's going to be Mercedes Martinez versus Willow Nightingale.
I don't know Willow Nightingale.
She's been on AEW.
And I'm all for
as a-
Mercedes, so I'm all
as
for that.
enhancement
so.
talent. She's a talented indie worker.
Yeah. Zen likes her.
Interim.
Well, then I hate her.
I wonder why they're doing an interim when Deanna Purrazzo.
Yeah, I was like, isn't there an actual champion?
Yeah, Deanna Purrazzo. Who,
Can she not wrestle? Is that
she's-
maybe
I
why?
think she might. I'll check. She might be in the. She might be in the multiverse.
she's working the Impact show because that's her.
Maybe
home
that's why. Maybe is she going to defend it there and then have a
probably.
melding?
This is all bunch of stuff because they had to get it off of Roxy because she signed a WWE development.
Man, give me a Deanna Purrazzo versus Mercedes Martinez
Yes,
match?
please. Yes, please.
All in for that.
Yeah, and Willow, I like Willow, but she's not. She's like
This should be a Mercedes
She's a
win
more
here.
bubbly kind of worker, so which is fine. It fits her character, and she's good. But I'd like to get 2 girls like Deanna and Mercedes and let them get down and dirty and just grapple. And
Did he throw in like a Serena D for a 3-way?
Yes,
Oh,
that.
my God, man.
that Regal would be proud of. He'd go in and slap all 3 of them after the match.
They'd all enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Senpai.
The next match for the ROH Pure
title.
Championship as it's Josh Woods versus Wheeler Utah.
Yeah,
I thought old Gresham had that belt.
No,
he's the world title.
He's the title.
He lost the pure title.
Oh,
to
that's
set
right.
up the world
That's right.
title.
He did. That's right. He did.
And it makes sense that Josh Woods is still being used. He's been doing dark matches on dark matches since Ring of Honor closed. So he's likely to be one of the guys that
He's
Con
on
keeps
ROH,
for Ring of
yeah.
Honor. For Ring of Honor, yeah. I look for him to win, but you and him in a pure rules match should be good.
Next match is Jay Lethal versus Lee Mariarty.
Again, should be a good match. I feel bad for Lethal in a way. He had to go back and work Final Battle as a favor, and now he's on this card. He's like, I signed with you to get away from
Right.
Ring of Honor.
Still here, huh?
All I'm doing is working Ring of Honor. But hey, take it what it is. It's a pretty good match.
The next match is Swerve Strickland versus Alex Zane.
That should be really good. That should be really good.
So, and this thing is like, I mean, here, we're all about whose house, Swerve's house, this podcast.
Oh, yes.
It's his
And
throne.
normally, I would say it's the match of the night. However,
The next
There's
match,
another match.
for the ROH World Tag Team Championships. Them boys, the Briscoe brothers versus FTR.
You got to respect Tony Khan.
Oh my God.
He's tried so hard to get this match signed.
Did you hear about why?
Yeah. Yeah. Warner Media.
Did you hear about this show? Why they can't have the Briscoes?
Warner
Yes
Media,
and no, but
Warner
go on.
Media is they don't want the Briscoes on TV due to Jay Briscoe's tweets from like 10 years ago.
10 years
and I
ago.
remember the tweets because I followed him at the time.
Yep.
And it was in bad taste.
He
and
was wrong.
It was wrong.
They were horrific tweets.
However, he's also admitted that, apologized multiple times on TV.
Has not backed
in
down
print,
from it. Has not shied
has
from
not shied from it. Has, in fact, did you
done-
read the last letter?
it. No.
Okay, so
Just the first one.
the letter he wrote, or it might have been that same one, but he wrote one a couple weeks ago.
I didn't read that
An
one.
open letter online for people. saying that, yes, at the time, those were my beliefs as a Christian. I was, blah, 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 blah. I thought, that was the right way to go for the, God and all that. He's like, I've since learned that that's not the best way to go through God and blah, 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 blah. He did a complete mea culpa and said, like, I was wrong. This world is for everybody. Everybody deserves love and happiness and blah, blah, blah. He did everything the right way. For 10 years, he's done everything the right way. It was almost immediately that he walked back like, that was dumb. That was bad.
He backtracked right away.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's been 10 years. And it cost him a WWE deal. Yep. It's costing him this now. And my personal thought process was, what the fuck does a person have to do?
Ric Flair keeps getting jobs. But,
well, I mean, I don't want to get on the guy. I listened to another podcast, and they had the same thought process I had. I was like, Scorpio Sky is on TV as the TNT champion. He had those very same tweets about the same time frame.
Yeah.
And he's never walked back on them.
Nope.
Because he also didn't threaten to kill anybody. But the point is, why is one okay and not the other? Is it because of the gimmick?
Probably.
Which isn't a gimmick. That's the problem. It's really them.
It's them. They're straight up chicken farmers from
Delaware.
Delaware. I was like, where the fuck are they from? Delaware.
And for those who don't know, even though geographically it may not look like it, from what I understand from reading and stuff and talking to people who've been there, Delaware, there's a half of Delaware is very much in the South.
Yeah, it's weird because Biden's from Delaware. Like, there's the Biden part, and then there's the other part.
Yeah. And it's very much Southern. And they're from that part. But like, yeah, no, and poor Mark didn't say anything. He's been blackballed the entire time because he's his brother. But like, they walked it back, and there have been numerous LGBTQ plus wrestlers
who supported them,
who in the business who have said like, guys, that was 10 years ago, and the person who tweeted those things is not the person I know. Like, let it go. But they haven't.
Let it go.
So now we have
he was going to get the match done
one way or another.
So he bought a company to do it.
I mean, this
God damn it, right?
This internet is buzzing about this match.
It's going to be good.
And then the main event, winner takes all match to determine the undisputed ROH World Champion, Jonathan Gresham versus Bandito.
Well, this is a no-brainer. I mean
shout out to Benito, but Gresham wins that.
Gresham wins it. I hope he keeps the original. Like, that belt has grown on me. Like, down the line, that, like, if I start my other belts, that might be like the
It's
original.
a classic.
Yeah.
I mean, he was supposed to beat him in December, but Bandito got COVID, so it's obvious. And by the way, if it hasn't happened yet, it's going to happen. Khan is signing Jonathan Gresham to an AEW / Ring of Honor contract.
Like a two-way contract for basketball.
Yeah. So he made sure to say that it's going to be for both, so he can get Gresham on that Dynamite if he feels like it.
So eventually we can get a Swerve Gresham match, please.
I want to see I want to see Bryan Danielson and Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah.
In which William Regal's heart explodes. Yeah. Which
we have to
could happen anyway.
Which, by the way,
stuff,
I sent that text.
Yeah.
I listened to that Regal Jericho pod. God, I was getting like really uncomfortable. He's like, "Oh, I have the videos. I have videos. I have photos.
Got videos and shit of all this stuff that happened to him.
You want to watch my heart surgery? I have it on my phone." I'm like, no, I'm good.
I'd watch it.
He's like, you can see this part. They're holding my heart.
Yeah, I'm like, I was squirmish. I'm like, oh god.
Can you imagine surviving all of that shit in like a 5-year span?
Fucking crazy.
Only a pro wrestler,
right?
Only a pro wrestler would know all that shit.
Another card I want to break down: Impact's Multiverse of Madness.
Bring it up real quick because we suspect the Briscoes and the FTR, the opening match of that ROH card. Why is that, Corey?
Because the Briscoes are also booked to wrestle this Impact show.
That's it starts like an hour later. When does it start? Because the ROH one starts at 5 our time, so 8 o'clock Eastern.
I think it's 9. I could be wrong though. That starts at the same time.
Like an hour later. Jesus, man.
That's earning your
Impact
paycheck.
regular WrestleCon on April 1st, starting at 6.
It's before?
So it's before. So that might go on later in Ring of Honor.
Later then.
Yeah. So they'll do this match first.
Oh, interesting.
You know what? They're in good hands though, because if anybody needs to take it easy in a match, it's the Good Brothers.
It's the Good Brothers.
They're working for the Good Brothers, and
LG,
they don't try. So
those forearms, brother.
So
those forearms will get you there.
So there's the Good Brothers versus the Boys, the Briscoes. There was a 4-way tag match. A 4-way tag match, the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championships. This is the influence of Madison Rain and Tenille Dashwood.
Who was Emma.
Versus Tasha Steele and Savannah Evans.
She's big.
Versus
Tasha
Giselle
Steele?
Shaw.
Tasha Steele, yeah, she's I think she's Puerto Rican, maybe Dominican. I should remember. But Puerto Rican. She's tiny, but she's good.
Steele?
Oh, yeah, Tasha Steele.
Yeah.
In fact, she was one. She either still is or recently lost the Knockouts title back to Mickie James. I think she's still the champ. Tasha Steele is the singles champ.
And then
Hold on. And WWE famously offered her and Thunder Rosa to be referees.
The refs.
And they're current champions in other promotions.
they're taking on Lady Frost, Giselle Shaw, Lady Frost, and the Decay.
Yeah. The influence should keep it.
Yep. Next match is a tag match of Josh Alexander and Jonah versus Moose and PCO.
That's okay.
Well,
Moose PCO's a scary ass team.
I wouldn't want to face those guys.
Holy hell.
But Jonah and Josh Alexander, that's not a team to sniff at either.
Nope.
That's going to be. I would honestly, I would like to see Josh Alexander and Jonah against two better workers, but I mean, Moose is all right. He's really gotten into shape. He's dedicated.
I'm
saving.
saving.
PCO's spent.
I'm saving the good matches for you, Corey, because I'm waiting for you to explode when I tell you these matches. Another match is it's either for the AAA Women's Championship or the ROH Women's Championship. Is Deonna Purrazzo versus to be announced.
Yeah, it's a pick your title because she's got two. It's like pick your belt and I'll defend it against you.
Ooh. I wonder if we get a maybe a Mercedes Martinez run in.
Yeah,
maybe. Ooh.
A intergender Ultimate X match as it's Trey Miguel versus Chris Bay versus Jordan Grace versus Rich Swann versus Vincent, not the Vincent from WCW, versus Willie Mack.
Vincent from Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And that's for the X Division title. It'll be a good match. You're a good spot fest. I kind of hope Vincent wins it. I dig his character. You dig? You dig what I'm saying, man?
Eddie Edwards versus Big Tom.
A lunch pail?
Oh, lunch pail.
Tomohiro Ishii against Eddie
shit.
Edwards. That can be stiff as fuck. No, it will be. It will be stiff as fuck.
Crowd wanted it.
Yep.
It's just
Another. What should I'll just do this one now. Chris Sabin versus Jay White.
That's going to be good. That's going to be real good. Real quickly, what set this up is that last month at Sacrifice, the Impact Plus special, shocking, but Alex Shelley and Jay White had like a 4.5-star match. They just fucking killed it.
Mixed tag match, Nick Aldis and Mickie James versus Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green.
First of all, sir, that is good brother Matt Cardona to you.
And Hot Sister.
And Hot Sister. You put some respect on his name.
That's feeding off the NWA pay-per-view this past weekend where they did a dusty finish. And Cardona, as the heel, kept the title because the referee, Jeff Jarrett, didn't see the shenanigans. Ha ha!
Shenanigans. And last but not least, Alex Shelley versus Speedball Mike Bailey.
Jesus. That might be the match of that night, dude. In any promotion.
For any promotion.
That might be the match of the night.
Sign me the fuck up for that.
That's why I left it for last. That's why I left it for last.
That's what I'm talking about.
Jesus Christ. How old is Speedball Mike Bailey?
I think mid-30s, maybe.
I got you. I'm on the wiki. He's 31.
Oh, wow, I was way off.
Cracker Jack staff
31.
on it.
31.
31, that's a youngin' still.
Come on, Con, what are you doing? Shit.
He just got, yeah.
Jesus.
Don't worry, he'll probably buy Impact by the end of the year.
I mean, if you want to listen to Jones versus Speedball Mike Bailey, look out for that Wrestle with Regret YouTube show. Might see a nice little triple threat here coming out soon.
Pal Pro Wrestling, keep an eye on that. That match is bonkers.
Yes, it is.
The old timers are going to hate it.
Some good matches on that Impact. He forgot to mention the fact that it's the Briscoes against the Good Brothers as well.
We brought
that up the first match.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. So, like, it's not a bad card at all.
It's
It's for 15 years, Corey. TNA usually doesn't disappoint. They should, but they don't.
Yeah.
For over 50 years.
It feels like it, I'll tell you that much. But no, seriously, you know what? June 19th of this year is the 20-year anniversary of the first TNA show.
Crazy.
20 years.
That is crazy.
What day?
June 19th.
June 19th.
Fucking WCW lasted 10 years.
Yep. This right here. Crowd wanted it.
Crowd wanted
here.
it
Look
so
at this.
bad.
Look at this.
So bad.
So, I know you guys want it, so this we're going to give it to you. We're going to mark out no sell for WrestleMania's Night 1 and 2, April 2nd and 3rd.
Hold on.
Oh,
NXT Stand
oh,
and
good.
Deliver
Okay, hang on. Let me back up.
is before Night 1, sir.
I'm just trying to get this over
Joe,
with.
Corey does not want to talk about WrestleMania.
I know, he really does.
No, there's a show from
There's a
England
show,
that may or
Hold
may not
on,
be
there's
happening.
a grimy lucha show happening in a parking lot in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh, Letterkenny has a marathon. We're going to talk about that.
All right. Let's talk about NXT Stand and
We
Deliver
forgot C-SPAN, okay?
being taking place at 10 a.m. our time on Saturday,
Hard pass.
That's unfortunate.
April 2nd. The matches go thusly.
Thusly.
Whoa.
Joe broke out thusly.
Thusly. How about shout out to the Q?
There you go. LA Knight versus Walter.
Okay. Oh,
not-
darn.
So
I'm not saying the real name.
here's the weird thing.
Well, Gunther, you
I
U-boat
don't,
captain.
I don't know how, but I'm kind of for it.
Dynamite.
40-year-old, right? 40-year-old LA Knight, the former Eli Drake from Impact, has quickly become the top babyface in NXT 2.0.
Shocker.
It's weird.
I don't know.
Someone posted a photo and it's like NXT 2.0 is trying to be the new wave for new
It's Dolph
generation.
Ziggler and,
Mandy, and
Miz.
Yeah, it's like, what? No.
But yeah, no. I mean,
What the?
do we have breaking news?
Not that's relevant to this podcast.
Oh.
But to us?
No.
No.
Okay.
I'm just reading the headline. Suspect splashes acid on woman and dog in Eugene.
No.
Whoa! Well, welcome to Eugene.
Welcome, Eugene. Hi.
I don't know we're in Florida all of a sudden, but
Hi,
like,
how are
holy
you?
shit.
Sometimes we're like an extension of Letterkenny and Florida.
Bunch of degens from the north, I guess.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Fuck.
Next match, it's a
Well, weirdly enough, Walter is like the underdog in that match to me.
they gave him a shitty name, so
Corey, I talked about. I went back and found the clip. Did you hear that chop last week?
I mean, where,
Oh my god!
where his soul
dude.
exited his body.
It sounded like someone took a back bump. I was like, it should not be that loud. That's how your heart stops. You can't be doing that to people.
He's bodying people. That's what he's doing.
Holy fuck,
He's
dude.
taking the frustration of Gunther
The
out
thing
on
is,
his
like,
opponent.
Big Show had people shut up. Walter's like, you can be loud. Don't worry about it.
as we talked about earlier, if Triple H needs something,
That'll kill him. You punch his heart through his chest. Holy fuck.
our next match is a fatal 5-way ladder match
Corey, third match.
damn
There it
it.
is.
for the NXT North American Championship. Carmelo Hayes versus Grayson Waller versus Santos Escobar versus Solo Sikoa. No idea who that is. Versus A-Kid versus either Cameron Grimes or Roderick Strong.
That's 6.
6.
I count 6 with those final dudes.
Yeah.
yeah. So one to be determined.
It's a fatal 6-way?
It'll be a 6-way.
So let me go through that. Carmelo Hayes is the current champion.
Yep.
He's a, what do they call him? Blue chipper, kind of like Rock and Shawn Michaels.
Does he know where the hard camera is, though?
Yes,
that's
he
the real
does.
question.
He's very charismatic. Grayson Waller, that's just Australian Miz. Although he's better than Miz in terms of wrestling.
First of all, let's pump the brakes. It's the Miz stand account. Let's calm down.
In all seriousness, he's much better in the ring, and he is pretty much his equal in charisma. Miz is more polished.
So you're saying he's as good as MJF then, because Miz is equal to MJF.
I wouldn't say that at all. But so Solo Sikoa, who you guys were like, who the fuck's this, Jay Brown? Well, that's the youngest Uso brother. So he'll be in the bloodline soon enough. Yeah. And he looks just like the Usos, just with the blonde hair.
What?
Yeah, like buzzed hair, but it's blonde on top.
Was he Cisco?
Yeah, sure. I don't remember him singing about thongs, but yeah,
You know,
maybe
he doesn't.
Maybe. Who else was that match? Fucking the host, like the host. He left. He left, and I don't know where he went.
I thought so. The solo guy was the wrestler that has the demon now in him. That was
No,
That's Del Torborg.
Bow. That's
yeah,
Bow.
Wow.
No, Solo Sikoa is the Uso.
a kid.
A-Kid, who's a really good Spanish wrestler.
Kid.
His name's A-Kid. And then
Santos
That has Bruce
Escobar.
fucking picture written all over it.
Santos Escobar.
No, a kid was his name prior to.
Yeah, no, he's A-Kid in Spain too. Santos Escobar is, to me, the final finished product that they've been looking for 10 years in a Mexican heel wrestler. There was Alberto Del Rio, Andrade, and then they finally mastered it in Santos Escobar.
What about Dominic?
Yeah. He's the best of the three of them, I believe. Better than Andrade. He can speak perfect English. And
Already went up on Andrade.
he dresses like immaculately. The whole thing screams superstar. But because they've been burnt by Andrade and
the concert?
the Kid
Yeah.
Rock concert?
This Saliva. We're watching WrestleMania 25. Oh, this Kid
I
Rock.
told you, remember that? He does like a concert, remember?
For all the divas, and they took it out at one point.
Oh, never
back
mind.
in.
Back in.
Well, I think he meshes perfectly with Vince right now. So
Yeah.
I don't.
This killed the
Anyway,
crowd.
yeah, I did. So Santos Escobar is the perfect one and he'd be great on the main roster, but I think they've been burned by the other two, so he's not even going to get a fair chance. And he's like 39.
Probably good that he doesn't, to be honest. It's better if he doesn't go to the mid roster.
He's really good. That match will be fine. They'll damn near kill each other and
Where's
someone
this
will win.
at? Where are they having this event?
They're having it at the American Airlines Center.
Oh, the Mavericks.
Well, they're actually in.
They're going to try and sell 20,000 tickets to that?
No,
ballsy.
no.
That's ballsy.
It's their first event since NXT Portland.
It's their first, special?
Yeah, that's not at the Performance Center.
Yeah, that's not in the Performance Center. So yeah, this is the first one.
This is not that.
Yeah. What's next, Joe?
Tommaso Ciampa versus Tony D'Angelo.
It's a no for me, dog.
That's a no.
It's
All right,
for
our
me,
next
dog.
That's
match.
Ciampa jobbing on his way up.
Fatal four-way for the NXT Women's Championship. Mandy Rose versus Cora Jade versus Io Shirai versus Kaylee Ray.
Yeah, so tell me.
Hard no for me, dog.
Tell me if I'm confused. So tell me if this makes sense. What they did is Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray won the Women's Dusty Tag Team Tournament.
Yep.
And instead of getting a tag title shot, they turned it in to be added to this match.
So now they're just facing each other. So
Yep.
So not only does that, shoot the whole tag team thing to bits, it also devalues your tag titles. It's like, we went through that tournament. We don't want that shit. Like, so fuck it.
Next match, a triple threat for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Imperium.
How many matches are on this damn thing?
There's 6.
Fuck does WrestleMania start? Jesus Christ.
Imperium versus MSK versus the Creed Brothers.
The Creed Brothers are legit. Imagine if
Get MSK out of there. It'd be a great match.
I like MSK. You need some high flying shit. The Creed Brothers are if Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle were in fact brothers who grew up together and then became like Olympic wrestlers.
The Good Brothers.
No, these are the Dangerous Brothers.
Yeah, the Creed.
These guys kick ass. They look weird. One of them is like a little bigger. The other kind of looks like Otis a little bit, but skinnier. And the other one is like more in shape, but just also a wrestling machine. And it really is like Lesnar and Angle who are just like brothers. And like, you know what? Let's just kill everybody. Do you know what it is? It's 2022 Steiners.
They were the singlets, but it's just but it's not the color froze. It's
that all
like
the
straight
matches?
blue. No, one more.
I was like, you didn't say some guy yet.
NXT
missing a
Championship.
name.
Dolph Ziggler defends against Braun
There it
Breaker.
is. I was like, where's the one guy?
Ironically enough, I mean, Dolph's got to win, right?
Dolph's gonna win.
Yeah,
Dolph
'cause
has to win.
Braun's on the main roster now. Way too early, but hey.
And he definitely should be losing to Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did you hear,
God.
Did you hear Dolph's interview?
No.
I'd never in my life.
He thought he was just going down to NXT one night to give some young guys the rub. He had no idea he was going to win the world title and be just stuck down there. He doesn't mind it. It's not like a punishment. He's just like,
He gets to wrestle, actually.
yeah.
It's,
He was just like, I had no idea this is what they had in mind. They just told me to go down there,
One
cut
night,
a promo,
yeah.
put some guy over, have a good night, and now I'm the champ.
my God.
Yep.
My God. This concert's still going on, by the way.
This killed the live crowd.
Well, he's a Hall of Famer, guys.
Okay.
You know, you say that.
He is a Hall of Famer.
Oh, just go to the next block because the women's battle royal sucks ass too.
This match is.
Oh my god.
We don't need to see Santino win the title.
All right, hang on.
Oh my god.
We'll go here. Let's go to WrestleMania.
Finally.
Corey, hold on.
Anything, Corey? Anything else you want to?
There was the Iowa caucus on C-SPAN 3 we need to run over.
I think Nader's pulling ahead there.
Nader, yeah.
God damn
And
it.
Dan Quayle.
Fine, let's talk about it.
Let's give them something.
This is where we really promise better in depth. So, is it a plus or minus that I have not watched a minute of WWE programming in a month?
Yeah, but you've seen it for 50 years. It's fine.
That's right.
For over 50 years.
I've been watching this.
Let's go to night one.
Raw.
Let's go to night one.
What time are these start times, Joe? Do we know? when this shit
5
starts?
o'clock, I think.
Is there a pre-show on any of this shit?
Thanks.
Yeah, stand and deliver.
It just goes right into me.
No,
That would be fucking fantastic.
I think it's 5
What
o'clock.
would be fantastic is
If
the main
not
event
4.
runs over and they just cut from the main event to the fucking interstitial. Then,
For over
now,
50.
forever.
Chlamydia.
Woo!
Can't lose that.
All right. Numero uno. Por favor.
Night one. Do we want to? Sure. Or should I just stop the show now? I'm kidding. I'm just getting it right now. I'm trying to find
I joke. I kid.
I kid. Oh, wait, there it is.
That makes me happy.
It's a good match.
5 o'clock. Both nights start.
I was like, are you still looking for the lineup?
You damn right. I was just looking for the time.
And you
So
know.
it's going to go to at least 4 hours each event,
Yes,
right?
at least.
God.
At least.
How long is each match? Don't they only have like 6
We
matches
have
for each
7
night?
matches for night one and 6 matches for night two. Night
They can't-
one.
They can't do that in 3 hours?
Night one. We have Rey
they could.
Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio versus Miz and Logan Paul.
Oh my god. Well, if there was ever a match I was more out on, I don't know what the fuck it is.
So I'm not as out on the Paul brothers as everybody else is. I've seen their stuff, in boxing. And, I mean, he's the biggest star in this match.
I'm just out as fuck on the other 3 and don't give a single fuck about him.
That's the problem, though, is that he is the biggest star of the match, and they're going to do, like Bad Bunny last year, they're going to do nothing to capitalize on it. I'm sure Ray and Dominic will win, and they're going to do fuck all to
So,
capitalize.
can I ask you something?
9 inches.
Do you think this match would have been better? Hear me out. If it was Mysterio and, like, say, Bad Bunny versus Paul and Miz?
No, because you don't want Mysterio and Miz carrying a match.
Who do you think would be better, Bunny or Paul after the
I haven't
end?
seen both. I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends how serious Paul took it. Bad Bunny took it seriously, and so when you take it seriously, like Kevin Green, like Steve McMichael, the results show. When you don't, you get Dennis Rodman.
It's one of those things with Paul. He says that the
thing is, he's in really good shape. He trains seriously in a different sport, so we'll see how it goes. But,
as he put out in his interview, he says that he could see himself.
well, I mean,
but everybody does.
I don't think he's going to be as good as McAfee.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Go ahead.
You didn't even give me a chance to give my insight.
fuck your insight.
What's your insight?
I actually read a little bit about that. I tried to do some research, and tell me if this is true. I read somewhere online that the Paul brothers, the boxing stuff, is kind of almost past its expiration date. Money is
For Logan, yes, not for Jake.
Yeah. That the money's kind of dwindling down now in terms of from where it was. Like it's no longer at the peak. It's going. It's a downward. May not be rock bottom, but it's not the peak.
No, because it depends on the fighter. Like, unfortunately, the next fight he probably is going to have Jake. I'm talking about not even Logan. It's unfortunate, but it's who he has to fight at this point. He needs a UFC guy to get released. He wants a specific name, and he's trying to facilitate that release, because that will do $1.5 million pay-per-view buys if he gets that fight.
Like, I'm so confused by the way this sport that you're talking about,
It's boxing. It's licensed
but
boxing.
it's like
It's not good licensed, but it's licensed
I'm
boxing.
so confused by its popularity. Like, I can't imagine if you came to me and just said, "So there's going to be a big fight. The one guy's not your traditional fighter. He's more of a YouTube star who takes training seriously, and he's waiting for someone to get released from UFC to be the right guy to get released. So because he has to be somewhat beatable, but yet a big name.
Yep.
And I'm like, and that's anticipated.
It's
just
pro
sounds like a
wrestling.
loser versus a loser.
It's pro wrestling is all it is.
Yeah, but
It's pro wrestling with real punches.
but you don't build up a wrestling card, or at least you shouldn't, with the idea of, well, this guy's not really a good one, and he's waiting for a loser to be released from a
yeah, but
separate
that's not how they
one.
sell it, though. That's not how they're selling
But
it.
everybody knows. I mean, you just.
But everybody
talked
knows
about
that what we're watching is fake. That's not how you sell it. You don't say, hey, look at these fake people who don't really hate each other wrestle and fight. You don't sell it like
But
that.
you're talking different things.
I'm talking the exact same thing.
No, I'm not saying it's fake. I'm saying it doesn't sound fun. Like, why would I want the losers, theoretically? I want the winners. He should want, like, an awesome fucking UFC fighter.
It's Nate Diaz. It is an awesome UFC fighter.
Okay.
It's Nate Diaz. It's not like some jabroni-ass Greg Hardy slapnuts who sucks. He's a UFC Hall of Famer. Will be eventually. He's a UFC Hall of Famer.
All right.
I'd
rather see serious boxers.
Can you name a serious boxer?
No, but but if I'm going to watch something, I want to devote to, like, the
You're
actual
not the
real
demographic for it,
ones.
though, is the thing. And it's still going to do 1.5 million pay-per-view buys.
Oh, I'm not saying it won't. I'm saying it saddens me that this is what it's come to.
WWE is right to jump on this Logan Paul train. They were right. It's going to do business. It's going to get the attention they seek now, which is social media attention. Because unfortunately, if they still sold pay-per-views, this would do well on pay-per-view. When you put a Paul brother and like all the other names they're going to have on these cards, it would do well on pay-per-view.
See, that's where
They just don't.
That's where I differ from you on that one. I don't. Do I think that a Paul brother against a UFC fighter can do business? Yes, because it has.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think you could put him in the WWE area where they ruin everybody and fuck everybody up? No, I don't think it would make a damn bit of difference to that audience. Because that audience, it's fucking because they put him in with losers. Shouldn't you want to put him in with a big name to get the most out of the investment? He's in there with Dominic Mysterio and fucking Miz.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys know they consider Miz a huge star.
That's true.
And they consider Dominic the next Ray for some fucking reason.
Of course, I don't even know what name you'd put him in with if you wanted to. Seth Rollins? I don't know. I don't consider that a big name either. But
Shall we move on?
yeah, that's more attention than I'll ever give to the match while it's happening. So
Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin.
Oh, God.
I feel bad for Drew. He got the short end of the stick carrying them through the COVID era. And then immediately, once people decided to work again, he just got shunted back down to the mid-card. And now he's wrestling Happy Corbin, which in itself isn't a bad thing. I like Corbin. I think he does a good job with what he's given. I hate the gimmick.
Yeah.
But he does a serviceable job in the ring, and he's at least dedicated to being a fucking heel that gets booed. But I don't want to see it. It's going to be a quick Drew win.
If they had, 2 years ago, if they had decided to go legitimately all in on Drew McIntyre, this show should be headlined by Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. This is what this should have been building to 2 years ago.
Instead,
He's not even remotely close to Roman
No,
Reigns. I mean, not even close.
he's on the
close
same
anymore.
show, and he's not even near the level. It's like,
Nope.
this company kills momentum.
Yes, it does. Next match is King Woods and Kofi Kingston versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland with Butch on the outside.
I mean, if I'm Kofi or Xavier, I'm saying put Butch in there. At least he won't kill me.
Right? I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. I was like, in my head, I was like, well, who's going to get hurt?
Right?
Either him or somebody else, because that dude is a walking disaster.
Kofi's been doing this over 20 years. There's only so many bumps left on his card. And you're going to have Ridge Holland throw him around?
And Xavier doesn't need to be doing this.
He's got one foot out the door.
Like, I mean, he's got way more important stuff he could be doing with his life than this.
And this does not sound like a WrestleMania match. It barely sounds like an hour 2 SmackDown
it
match.
just got added like yesterday.
So far, night 1 does not sound great.
All right.
Hold on. Was this supposed to be New Day versus?
It was supposed to be
Supposed to be a
Biggie.
6-man.
Who was supposed to be? Oh, it was supposed to be
Butch.
Butch, right?
Butch
Yeah.
and Biggie. Yeah, 6 man.
And then Biggie got all. Do we know? Do we have an update on Biggie? Do we know?
Yes, he was listening to Morning Train as he was putting his Seinfeld Lego set together.
That's what he's doing on social media. But,
He's doing good. He said he's
it was a
good.
ruptured C1 and C6. C1 if it's broken.
But no surgery, right?
No.
No.
Just rehab?
And C1 if it's broken all the way, you're decapitated and dead. So
Once again,
Thank God his neck is that size. My God.
He's downplaying it.
Yeah.
But everybody who has medical knowledge, including some doctors that people have asked, have said, no, C1, that's a career ender.
Don't say it sounds like career ender.
You don't come back
right?
from C1. Because, C6 is maybe. C1, that's career ender. He's downplaying it, but I think his career's done.
Damn.
You don't fracture a C1 and just spring back up.
It's a bummer if that's true.
Yeah.
It sucks, man.
It does.
Like, I wasn't, the biggest Big E guy in the world, but you don't want to see a career cut short like that. That sucks.
Especially a guy who... Did you read the other part about it? We never did talk about this. This is worth talking about. He when he got hurt, he got all that outpouring of love and support and everything from fans and workers and all that. And he responded a couple of days later and said he didn't quite have the words to express his gratitude because he's changed quite a bit. When he was a college football player, his goal in life was to be successful enough so that people knew who he was when he killed himself. That was the only reason he tried to excel at football.
Christ almighty.
Yeah. He just wanted people to know who he was when he killed himself. And so he's come a long way since then to be this positive dude. And
Holy hell.
Thanking everybody for their well wishes. I was like, Jesus Christ. That's sobering.
Fuck.
Why do you want to be famous, sir? So that you know who the fuck I am when I kill myself.
Joe, how do you feel about the new day? Excited about it?
No, how can you be like this, man?
No.
I want Joe to... I don't think there's much left in there, but Joe is the most WWE of all of us.
Yep, 100%.
It is dying.
There's got to be something on here
For over 50 years.
that Joe could smack his lips about and be like, I want to... this is I can dig into.
Well, let me dig into the... I just found another card, and
Does
it's
it differ?
Team Onita
Oh, yeah.
versus Team PCO.
Yeah. Those two being around each other is fucking
dangerous.
horrifying.
No, WWE is at a 0.01 in my heart right now. So,
Well, can you give us a match on night one that sounds good at all? Because so far this night is the drizzling shits.
all right, how about this for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team
Title match,
Championships?
okay. Title match. So we got
The
here.
Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs.
Well, I was there until you started the other two. I was fine with Usos, and then it went straight downhill from there.
Wait a minute.
So
When did they become a team?
Yes.
Who?
The Usos, Joe.
Oh, 2000.
Not day one-ish.
Day one?
Damn. That's the right answer, by the way. Joe's like half out of it. Shinsuke and Boogs.
They became a tag team about a month ago.
The New Day are on this roster. So are the Viking Raiders or Warriors.
No, hang on, because the Viking Raiders are part of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which is on SmackDown.
It's not even in WrestleMania.
It's not on WrestleMania.
No, this is the second year in a row they do it on SmackDown.
And by the way, your U.S. champion, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest, who's in a feud together, who could have a match on WrestleMania.
You mean the guy who was with Bad Bunny last year?
Yeah,
That's
he's on the Battle Royal.
That's crushing it.
Yeah, they're not on WrestleMania because they needed two big names for the Rumble or for the Battle Royal on SmackDown. So the U.S. title and two actual names are being purposely left off this two-night WrestleMania.
My God.
Two-night WrestleMania.
My God.
No.
So you
Sounds
have
terrible.
unmotivated Shinsuke. I mean, to the nth degree with
Green Boogs.
Elias Light. Like, what are we doing here?
Green Boogs.
Green boots. It's like boogers. You can call Monday Night Football.
Against the Usos, one of them might be drunk. Who knows? Hope he's not driving to the ring.
Man, for legitimately maybe the greatest tag team in that company's history, not a real showcase. They haven't had like a showcase Mania match.
No. And
You know what I mean? Because like the Shield and like the Usos, like
none of that stuff happened in Mania.
they don't have a Mania.
For 2 or 3 straight years, they were stuck in a tag title match on the pregame.
They need
Couldn't even make the main card.
they're not going to be around forever. They need to have like, even if it's not like an all-time classic, they need a match with like names, like people that care about.
Dude, they're the same age as Roman, which puts them at turning 37 this year.
Like they need like a rock and sock tag. You know what I mean? They need something that people actually give a shit about to like show.
Well, that's why we put them with Shinsuke and Boogs.
I bet you Vince can't spell Shinsuke. He has no idea how to spell that name.
I'd hate to think of what he calls him.
Hi, this match can't last more than 5 minutes, right?
So far, this is a depressing ass night one show.
By the way, I'm going to go back a day for a second. SmackDown. You have a triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship. Ricochet versus Garza and Humberto.
Why isn't that on the fucking card?
It'd be a great match.
Yep.
Jesus.
No, it's on SmackDown before Mania. And then again, that Intercontinental title, nowhere to be found on Mania.
Then you have the Andre Battle Royal on SmackDown of Balor, Priest, Apollo, his big dude, Viking Raiders, Benjamin, your boy, who's undefeated, Mansoor, R-Truth, the next big guy, according to Hulk Hogan, Jinder Mahal, and then other people.
That's a loser battle royal. Yeah, did you see that Hogan quote? He thinks if they got behind Jinder, he could be the next
Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Does you not remember 4 years ago when they did? And it went literally nowhere?
As memory recalls, brother.
That was night one, and that was SmackDown. Let me finish off night one. See if I can boost the morale around here. For the Raw Women's Championship,
WCW shit here.
Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair and
The answer is no. You want?
okay.
I'm gonna tell you. You want the insight? It isn't always positive insight.
Yeah.
Here's some insight for you. Because they push the same three women over and over again.
Yep.
Charlotte, Ronda, Becky. Bianca, they could have made a stardom. She's got the charisma. She's got the it factor. She's got the ability. She can talk. She's got a great story.
She's different than everybody else.
She's got a great story. They don't believe in her. Nope. They gave her the win last year against Sasha. She ho-hummed through a title reign. Then as soon as Becky came back, she lost in 3 seconds. And hasn't been relevant since, until now. Yep. They don't believe in her because she's not one of the three. So no, this doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything.
And then the next match for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey.
No, and not only my bias against both women, Ronda's ice cold this time.
What do you mean? She's going to beat her in the quadrilupe.
Quadrennial?
Quadrennial?
It's because they made her a face. Ronda Rousey, quote unquote, the baddest bitch on the planet, and who is Amanda Nunes, should not be smiling babyface. She should be a badass chick who just beats the shit out of people.
Actually, most of the time, and the few times I've seen her on TV since, because I don't watch it, she comes off as bitter to be there and pissed off that she even has to do this. Not very babyfacious to me.
Must have to be babyface.
But it's true. But also the first time she was coming off of everything. She was red hot. This time she took 2 years off to have a baby. Great for her. But she's coming back off of nothing. There's no real interest. It's just a different time. There was nothing to grab onto. It was a hot thing the first time.
And I asked you guys this when Ronda came back at the Rumble, and it was clear it was going to be Charlotte. Somebody has to win. Who the fuck do you want to win? Because nobody wants to see a Ronda title reign, but you can't beat Charlotte. It's fucking Charlotte.
Common sense says Ronda has to win this, but at the same time, it's probably Ronda campaigning to lose and just go home more than anybody. So, don't know.
Charlotte is, outside of Becky, really the one bankable female star they have.
Well, actually, there's one who's a proven draw every week, and she's in a worthless tag match on night 2. We'll get to her in a minute, but she's actually a proven draw. The quantum of putting butts in seats and viewers to the TV, she's the only female that does it weekly, and they don't do anything with her.
We got one more match for night 1.
Well, hold on.
Still?
Yeah. I was has there ever, I hate these two more than you guys probably, but to me, there's never been a match in Mania history where I vehemently want nobody to win. It's can you both maybe injure a leg?
It's the thing of once again WrestleMania's in Dallas, so it's the last time we were there. That was horrific, but the last match for now, who knows? It's WWE. They're going to add more matches on for no reason. Seth freaking Rollins versus to be announced as once he's in the ring, Vince McMahon will handpick the opponent.
They changed it again.
What do you mean?
There were 2 other matches that were moved to night 1 that you haven't talked about at all. They moved back to night 2.
Maybe we'll find out. So Seth Rollins versus probably Cody Rhodes.
That's gonna go over like a wet fart in church.
I mean,
people are because if that's your main event, which it probably maybe.
No, Ronda and Flair are.
Yeah, they said Ronda and Charlotte goes on last.
So Cody's the co-main event then.
Who knows?
By that point though, that crowd is ice cold.
You have to start the night with that match.
You
if you
have
want
to,
capitalize
right?
on him. If you want him to get a pop, it's got to be the first match of the night.
100%.
If it's not him, God help them, because they've. Who else?
Watch them fuck it up. Just watch them mess
At
it
this
up.
point,
Commander Aziz is going to come out.
6 weeks
He's
ago,
in the Rumble.
I was all in for whatever they were going to do with Cody, right? Now, and unfortunately for Cody, I'm just like, can we just fucking get him here and just be done with his debut? Fucking Christ.
What took so long is he wouldn't sign. Because no doubt he's smarter than the rest in business-wise, and I'll give him this. He was probably putting provisions left and right in that fucking contract, making sure that he doesn't get the short end of the polka dot stick. That's my guess.
No manservant,
Yeah.
no polka dots.
So, like, that's not a great night of wrestling.
That's a rough night to try and get people in
How
there to
many
watch.
times are you going to change matches on nights?
Well, let's go to night 2.
Yeah, that's the full card for night 1.
That's for right now.
What would you rate that 1 to 10?
3. I'm being nice.
That's about right. That's a terrible.
And I'm being
card.
nice.
That would struggle to be a lower end in your house.
Yeah, that's like a piece of shit TLC pay per view in November or whatever the fuck.
And you
That's
wanted
terrible.
100,000 people to pay to see that by itself?
There isn't one star on that show that would generate 100,000 people in seats. Not even Charlotte would do that.
Not even Ronda?
Not anymore.
Like you said,
now.
not now.
Not now.
When she
Maybe
came
the first
out,
time?
maybe. If like the first time she had shown up, she wins the Rumble, and then it's like 100,000 people see that. 100%.
Not to mention you're banking on most
I mean, they
people
had Dana
coming.
White there, the front row, the first time she wrestled.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're banking on the first night doing well off a match where one of the guys is to be announced.
Yeah.
That's ballsy.
So like they're doing the Punk thing in Chicago, right?
They're trying
It's
to.
a hint, wink, wink. But
They're trying
But
to.
it's
the
not.
thing is, people wanted to see Punk. No, that crowd, I don't think wants to see Cody. They look at him as a traitor.
They hate AEW. Most of the WWE's
They hate
diehards
AEW.
hate
Somebody
AEW.
brings it up, and I love the point of if you watch a Raw or a SmackDown, the crowd's dead. But if you watch Dynamite,
They're alive.
they're live.
We're live, pal. See, I don't.
So that's night 1. We're giving it a 3, right? 3.
They're going to have to, like...
Oh, wait.
Like, there's not even like.
Well, I don't know what night it is though.
Hold on,
But
before you
The Stone
before you
Cold
go on.
Kevin Owens thing was supposed to be night 1.
that's not on here.
And
It's
also-
not even on night 2, so I don't know when it's
So I was
on.
gonna say, like, before we go to night 2, that's the point. Like, there's no weird ladder match. There's no Austin thing. There's no even gimmick to get people excited about something in this show.
So there is the Kevin Owens Austin segment,
Well, it's a KO show.
KO show, but
With
it's
Stone Cold
it's
Steve
not
Austin.
on. It's not on any of the
Since
cards.
it's not a match.
Yeah, it's not on the.
So that's supposed to be night 1, too.
It's gotta be night 1, right?
Has to be.
Yeah.
I just.
That's what I mean. I'm like, wait a minute. There's a couple things that were scheduled for night 1, and then on TV were announced as night. So that's the one that's always been night 1. There's a match that I'm guessing you're going to talk about on night 2.
Yeah.
That started on night 2. Then on TV they moved it to night 1, and apparently now it's moved back to night 2.
So let's just get these matches. A fatal 4-way for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, as you have Queen, Zelina, and Carmella, who's your champs, who are feuding with each other, versus Sasha Banks and Naomi, versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, versus Natalya and Shayna Baszler.
First of all, Rhea Ripley our tag team.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Just whip me with chains and call me happy. Holy fuck, that's a team. Yeah, Sasha Banks. Every week, she, by the way, and this is an exaggeration, better ratings mover by far than Roman Reigns on Friday night. She is the only net positive ratings gainer every single week she's on.
Why is that, do you think?
People like her. She's a
But
star.
why?
I think she connects.
Because most smart fans do not like her. They can't stand her.
Let's put it this way. I said this like back in 2015, 16 when she hit the main roster. I have no idea if it's true now because pop culture moves pretty fast. Mm-hmm. But at the time, she was like the only act on WWE that seemed to be of current pop culture time.
Well, I'll say this for her. I don't know why, but there's how she is the meter ratings mover, but it's that fact that she also, her cousin Snoop or something, but that doesn't matter. But she didn't. She was part of the Mandalorian show, so she is moving on to there. So people see her from the Star Wars show.
Maybe,
but that's a small bit, and she's not coming back for the rest. So
she was there for it's like 3 episodes. So, but still,
but I read a thing with it, and they're not bringing her back.
Probably for this season.
Bummed about that.
So, but she does other things outside of WWE to do.
But she's always been a mover, and right now she's the only. She used to be the only female star moving. Right now, she's damn near the only star. When Brock is on SmackDown announced, he does well.
Yep.
If he's not on, she's by far the number one person above Roman even.
And you guys know how I feel about Rhea Ripley, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they have fucked her over 17 ways from Sunday. But if they had actually built her correctly, Charlotte, looking at you, this should be Rhea versus Sasha. Mm-hmm. One-on-one in a marquee matchup that would fucking do ratings because they could probably both work really well together.
The fact that both of them, but especially Sasha, is just lumped into this meaningless multi-team
Nonsense,
tag
dude.
title
You
match
have Team Bad 2.0 all over again.
It's ridiculous.
Disrespectful is what it is.
It's disrespectful, but it's also stupid business. The whole any sports or any business period, if you have something that's hot, you maximize it. Mm-hmm. For a year and a half now, she's been the standard bearer. They've done nothing. She had a good reign after the Bayley stuff. She went into the match with Bianca last year that had juice. Mm-hmm. And after that, just, whatever. Fuck you. Back to nothing for you, even though you still move all the business.
I just that's the one thing about this. That's why the Charlotte thing makes me so angry. Because Charlotte is just like every other female that Vince pushes. It's just a blonde hair with big tits, right?
Tall, blonde, big tits.
Sasha, Bianca, Rhea, they are drastically different. They stand out in a crowd.
Even Liv
they
Morgan.
look like stars.
Liv Morgan has a different aesthetic with the smaller blonde. She's not your cookie cutter blonde that they usually get.
I don't understand. They're so easy to market. They appeal to an entirely different audience.
Which they have failed to bring in females of any age. Oh, that's not true. WWE does pretty good in the older women demographic, 40 and above. If a woman is watching wrestling, she's usually over 40, and it's usually WWE. AEW has a terrible female demographic.
Well,
Yeah.
It's dudes playing video games. That's what that show is.
You're not wrong. It's that's a terrible match.
Next match.
I pray to God Rhea and Liv win.
I hope they just decide to no-show the event, don't show up. Don't waste their time on this horse shit.
That'd be fucking awesome.
What, are you going to fire me? Please. Please fire me. It would be dynamite if you fired me.
I might have to go on a rampage.
It'd be stupendous.
It's really dark on this elevated platform I'm on.
It would be dynamite.
It'd be stupendous. Next match, triple threat tag match for the WWE Raw
Another multi-tag.
Tag Team Championships. RK Bro versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy.
You thought the last match was pointless? Holy fucking shit.
What did Randy Orton do?
He went AWOL from the military.
He's saying he's having the best.
Because he's cashing giant fucking checks to not do anything. He's got that that fucking Kevin Nash contract.
Because Randy Orton has always had great luck. He was lucky enough that his contract was coming up in late 2019.
Yeah.
And he leveraged it. I mean, he put a picture on Twitter of him outside a Tony Khan door.
Yep.
On purpose.
Yep.
It was perfect.
Yep.
He got so much money on his last contract that he doesn't care what he does.
And Randy Orton is now in a company and a tag partner with the biggest pothead in the history of wrestling. He can just smoke weed till his heart's content.
He wasn't kidding when he said that he's having fun and he likes Matt Riddle for a couple of reasons, but number one is he grows my favorite kind of strain.
I just,
Point blank is what he said.
They don't test for weed anymore. He could not be in a better position.
This is probably the run of his life, really. If you think about it,
Jesus.
He's got to do half the work. He's twice as high, and he's making so much money that he loses some, and he doesn't
like Corey's
know
dream job here,
right? This is like my dream job. Like, what the fuck? I want to be Randy Orton. By the way, he's making history. Did you see this?
No.
It's pretty interesting. He is the first person in WrestleMania history to come into WrestleMania as Tag Team Champion, U.S. Champion, Intercontinental Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, and WWE Champion.
So a Grand Slam.
A 5 slam.
5. Well, yeah.
Damn.
Only person.
Not even Sean, huh?
Nope.
Interesting.
Nope. Coming into the event with all of those belts.
Wow.
Now that he's doing it this year as the tag belt.
So, okay. So then it's WWE. Who else is closer? Who's close to that?
No one. No one. Because no one active is anywhere near it.
Damn.
Ran Rollins, maybe? Let's see. Rollins hasn't come in as world champion.
Yeah,
He's not.
But he's come in as...
Oh, no. He came in as Universal, right?
Yeah.
Was Universal?
No, he won the Universal.
Oh, yeah. He won.
He hasn't come in. He's come in as an Intercontinental, I think U.S., and maybe tag with the Shield.
But that was with the Shield versus like DX and Kane. So,
but he technically was tag champ.
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So Seth Rollins would be the closest.
Damn.
Next match:
Yeah, that match is just, oh my god, dude.
Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory.
I want to work out for it. Like, I mean,
Excuse me.
McAfee does well in everything that he does with this company.
And they clearly have plans for Theory. He was the final guy in the chamber with Brock.
Yep.
He's been in the Vince storyline for 2 months.
Yep.
And he's getting a WrestleMania match against McAfee, who they like.
I'm guessing he is in a title match at either Money in the Bank or SummerSlam.
You've got to think Theory wins, right? Because of all that?
I would think so.
I mean, he's obviously someone they think a lot of.
I would think so.
And
Because McAfee doesn't need to win for any reason.
It's refreshing that they found a guy in his mid-20s to push.
You know, there's one.
Next match: Edge versus AJ Styles.
So this is the one that started on night 2, went to night 1 when it looked like they needed something bad. Before Cody signed, apparently, they needed something to put on night 1, so they moved it there. And now they've quietly moved it back to night 2. I'll be honest with you, it's hard for me to get amped for this. I love AJ Styles as a worker. You know that.
Yep.
But Edge, ever since that first Rumble,
It's not doing it for me, dog.
it's been a net negative
Yeah.
for me. And I'm not digging the whole... I mean, first of all, I know you're a heel this time.
Yeah.
But you were a heel for years with that theme song. Why would you get rid of it? It's the most over thing about you.
And I don't... He's doing nothing that he talked about wanting to do.
I think it's because he realized he couldn't. So
He can't outwork everybody?
Yeah, so he's staying with the guys who are older and vets who know. Notice it's not to carry him to a good match, but the vets know how to hide the deficiencies in the match. Like AJ, you won't be able to tell Edge is struggling because AJ's a vet too, and he knows how to hide it.
Yeah.
And that's what he's leaning on because he just doesn't have it. And AJ, it'll be an okay match.
Yeah, it'll be okay. It's a complete waste of AJ.
Who still, even though he's 45, still has something to give. And they're just wasting it because
Wasting the rest of that bump card. You're wasting it like crazy.
you spent a year with him taking all the bumps for Omos, and now he's wasting time with Edge. Look, I'm not saying give him the world title, but do something with him. Like, he's still okay. He's not what he was 5 years ago, but AJ Styles at 60% is far better than most 80 to 90% guys. So do something with him. This will not be it.
What's crazy, right? So the match we just talked about, the Austin Theory Pat McAfee match, that's going to be the match that has like athleticism and pace.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to be slow and plodding on this night. Everything else.
Next match is an
Well,
anything.
you never gave your opinion, sir. He was kind of hoping we'd go back.
No,
God damn it.
I'm not feeling it right now.
He was playing Brick Breaker.
No, I was seeing a photo of someone doing. Dirty posted of Seth Rollins versus Vacant, but someone fixed it and said fix, and they put the Cody's tattoo on Vacant and just like fixed it.
I am so tired of the nonstop Seth Rollins propaganda on WWE.com.
So
He's not the guy, okay?
So for the Edge AJ match, I don't know how I feel about it because of the fact that they started this feud a month ago, and AJ's been out for 2 with the concerto shots.
Yeah, plus they did an angle where, I mean, Edge isn't going to sell anything, but the guy who's supposed to be able to, he had to be off TV to sell the angle, so he can't even sell it for you. So, like, by the time it's a mess. It's a waste of AJ.
How long does Edge have left? A year still?
Yeah, about a year.
Christ.
They'll re-sign him.
So yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things.
This is last year.
It's one of those things, and I'll just say this as we go forward. WrestleMania, we always talk about how we're not looking forward to it. Or there was something. The match won't be good. Every once in a while, that WrestleMania, the matches come through, and you're like, that was actually entertaining. Like the 2020's WrestleMania. It's like overall, it was okay.
I haven't thought about that year's WrestleMania since it happened. I don't even remember a match from that year.
The Boneyard match?
Okay. I remember that. That was good.
That was the best match of the card.
Yeah. Heavily edited. Filmed over 4 nights, but yes.
As of something else, apparently. That some guy did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Did you hear about that, Joe?
No.
Some guy DM'd or whatever, emailed Cornette. He's like, I can't tell you, or Cornette wouldn't say who he was, but he's like, he's some special effects guy who has to film something in South Texas for 4 days. It's going to be cinematic. So it's going to start whatever they're going to do and then end up in the ring. It's going to be fucking brutal. It's going to be, and honestly, I'm kind of here for the shit show that it's going to be. I'm kind of here for
This
it.
fucking WrestleMania is gonna.
Anyway, our next match is an anything goes match. Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn.
I forgot about this.
I'll be honest, I'm all for it just because of the fact that Sami Zayn is putting all of the work into this, and Knoxville is.
I was gonna say, whatever they gave Sami Zayn on this last contract he just signed, he deserves double. He has worked his absolute tail to the bone to get people to like this and get into it.
So,
and Knoxville's been there for it too.
That's why, because I was disappointed in Knoxville in the Rumble because he didn't really do anything special. So I'm hoping they were saving it for this. So if Knoxville does Knoxville shit, it'll be fun.
Which they are. That's why it's anything goes.
But if it's just WWE chair shots to the back and a trash can lid, fuck that shit. It's boring.
Let me pause to you a proposition. What if this is the thing filming?
The cinematic, maybe that makes sense.
It's got a non-wrestler and a wrestler who's put together with tape and spit at this point. So to do a cinematic, anything goes schmoz with a jackass guy where you can do retakes and different angles and all that crap, and then have it end up in the ring where minimum damage is done that day.
That's actually not bad because you could get some of the other jackass guys in on it. Mm-hmm. That's actually not a bad idea. That actually might be it.
Like if this is the thing being taped, that's probably the best idea.
That's actually not bad.
And then the main event, winner takes all to unify the WWE and Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
It's what the whole event's built on. It's this match.
Imagine if it was only one night. Probably would have done better.
Can you... So who do you think wins? I can't decide which direction they should go.
It's built up to Brock winning.
But doesn't that defeat the purpose?
In my opinion, Brock has to win because they're afraid to give anybody else a push, which means they're just doing this to set up a rematch at SummerSlam.
Like, I won't lie. I have Raw streaming right now, and Cowboy Brock's on my phone right now.
So I'm telling you.
Giddy up.
That's all it is. They're afraid to push anybody else. So how is this? And if you have Roman win, there's no need for a rematch. But if Brock wins, there's a rematch.
Also, did you see Kung Fu Brock?
No.
So on SmackDown, he's on the announce table as Roman's in the ring, and like security guards come up, and Brock jumps, but he does the karate kick, like he does scissor kick in the air and kicks some guy in the air. So somebody put the Kung Fu fighting to it because he's like, "Hey-ya!" And then he starts putting chair shots to everybody. It's like Kung Fu Brock.
2022 Brock.
I don't understand 2022 Brock. It doesn't make sense. He's doing like interviews and he's watching
Friends,
women's matches backstage and giving critiques and notes. What is happening?
I have no idea.
What happened?
Something clicked. You know what? It's when he grew the braid. The braids naturally make a person cooler.
The
ponytail. It's true.
I mean, I'm here for it. I love this Brock, but I don't know where it came from. Nothing in the last 25 years said this is Brock Lesnar. Nothing about this.
I'm super confused. It felt like it took 38 minutes to break down night 1, and I'm like, that's it for night 2?
Yeah, that's it for night 2.
Joe just gave up.
That's it. No, that's it for night 2.
Night 2 is way better,
Yeah.
Because it's on Sunday. No.
but not exactly. I'd put it as, if you could have condensed this down to one night and knocked some of these worthless matches off,
You had a nice 10, 11 card match.
it's still not a great WrestleMania, but it's miles better than a 2-night blah this is going to be.
And we're hearing reports that old Vinnie Mac caved as far as seating.
Oh, yeah. Set it up for 60,000 a night instead of 100.
Did you see his new shirt?
Yes, that is the most ridiculous, embarrassing,
No.
stupid thing. It's a picture of him with horns as if he's a devil. And it says, "So you think I'm an asshole? Congratulations, you're right."
Yeah.
Or some shit like that.
It's a line from the McAfee show
Great. I couldn't care less.
interview.
Oh, God.
Do you ever think we'd come to the day where the WrestleMania weekend, the show we're anticipating the fucking least is WrestleMania?
No.
Like to that level. Like, Jesus, anything but this. Jeez.
Or your son, the Lodab base, has come and said he's not even watching it.
I don't buy that for a second.
I don't buy it for a second.
I know he'll watch it. But honestly, though, he's not. He's also not. He's, whatever.
And he's the age range that they're gunning for.
He's their age range, and they're losing him. It's just like, he's like, nothing sounds good. Nothing looks good.
What if it's Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt when they bring him back?
He'd be happy, I'm sure, but
Still no Cody.
yeah.
Cody's just the new Veer. He just never shows up.
Yeah, Veer's showing up Monday after Mania. Come on. They announced that one at least.
I hope it's like a freaking. I hope on Raw they do a Veer vignette with a SmackDown logo coming Friday.
And then on SmackDown, he's coming to NXT 2.0.
Yeah, it's just
He just never shows up.
they're the ultimate trolls. The last one is AEW Dynamite. Like,
God damn it. God damn it.
they just don't care anymore. They're like, fuck it.
It's going to be a rough show, guys. It's gonna be a rough
We had
watch.
a rough couple nights. The old wrestling on WWE.
Hey, but we'll be with friends.
Yeah,
We'll have a good time.
they used to at least have one or two matches that pulled you in. Like the rest is going to suck, but this
It's Roman and Brock, and
nothing from now on.
I think it's Roman and Brock, and I think for me, it's Knoxville and
Both on night two. So there's
Knoxville.
nothing on
and
night one that would.
God, they're banking on that Steve Austin thing.
Yeah.
So hard.
How pissed are they that he refused to wrestle? Because they gave up on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just a KO show with Steve Austin now.
Stunner.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm not going to wrestle.
Just a stunner and drink beer. That's all he's going to do.
Yeah.
Ride his ATV down the ring.
Oh, did you? One thing I don't like about this, why I'm not excited for these is like the 8 women's tag match, right? You have your tag champs feuding with each other. You have an 8-woman tag match on SmackDown, and then you have the rematch on Monday, going into the week of Mania. So these 8 women are wrestling each other 3 nights out of the next 10 days.
Forget about it.
That's
I mean,
no.
for the people who are actually watching, that's a lot of Italian matches.
It's too many entire matches.
No, one's too many.
Too many.
That's one, sir.
So
No, one thing about AEW that I forgot about.
Jeff Hardy swantoning off the ladder,
That was
off
nuts.
the window.
That was nuts. You can almost see Sting going, I wish it was me. He's fucking lost it.
Sting is the new PCO.
You cannot put Sting in a tag team with Darby Allin and Jeff Hardy. His juices start flowing. He's like, yeah, you know what? I could do that.
Thank God, want him straight edge.
Right.
Sting and relapse.
Well, AEW.
But like they're starting. They have a qualifying match for the Owen Hart female tournament this week, with the Bunny taking on a new person. Any guesses?
I've heard the rumors that it may be Tony Storm, or it could be
I'm guessing Tony Storm.
I've heard that name. I've heard Athena.
Athena. Yeah.
Also, shout out to Tony Storm doing the damn thing.
That's awesome. I loved seeing that.
I mean,
And did you see the number of insecure men
holy crap.
who just can't. How dare you? How dare? Yeah. Oh, let me get this straight. So you're upset because a woman took the power of controlling her body and her sexuality into her own hands instead of you telling her what she's allowed to do with that body. Is that why you're mad?
Yeah. So
fuck you.
Are you telling me that Toni Storm is controlling her narrative?
Oh my God damn you, Joe. God. I prefer the Joey Legend thing.
I don't know what's worse. Where he went or where I thought he was going to go.
Where'd you think he was going to go?
Yeah.
The Toni Storms got it like that.
I mean, she does have it like that.
She does, man. That's no joke.
Oh, take her. Rude.
She has no joke. She has it like that.
That is enough.
I'm going to control the narrative here.
No, tell you control what you do with your body. You want to take no bumps but wear lingerie and get paid for it?
Get paid handsomely for it.
Congratulations.
Get paid handsomely for it.
I would do the same thing if I had the body for it. I do not.
Corey, you have the body.
You get the body for it.
We believe in you.
There's unfortunately probably a niche market out there that would get off on that. But
Hey now.
I digress. Or Mia Yim. I mean, her husband's there now. So I figure it's one of those three, right?
I feel like Tony Storm would be a bigger deal.
She would. She'd be the biggest deal.
Yeah. Well, or Chelsea Green. I mean, at some point, can Chelsea Green go somewhere, please? For the love of God.
I've got a few places she can go.
Her and Ty Valkyrie in tag team. What?
The
both Canadian, by the way.
I thought Taya was
Brazilian.
Ty Valkyrie?
Oh,
not Ty Valkyrie. Ty
Conte.
Conte.
Yeah, Brazilian. You said Ty Valkyrie. I'm like, both Canadian, I guess. Maple syrup, eh?
Hey, there it is.
But yeah, no. Ty, oh my God.
Camera guy got fired.
Well, I mean, his dad's a murderer, so.
Another from AEW, we found out that overpowerful Hook can't be cursed.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Almighty powerful.
I have to admit, though, also, so far, I'm really digging the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yes.
Because I love, they're making fun of WWE and the WWE stands by incorporating what they are. Sports entertainers.
Cool Hand, Alec.
The Ayatollah of Jack and Cola.
No, it's.
But like, I love it. 2.0 was a stupid name. He gave them the real names.
It's bad creative.
He has bad creative.
Did you see that Nyla Rose on Rampage was Chris Jericho's
Sports Entertainer of the Week? They're like his shucky ducky quack quack.
And a logo pops up with Jericho's face or her on it. It's just like, stop showing it.
It's awesome. No, it's awesome.
They're there to beat wrestlers.
Whether you like him or not, he did it again. He always finds a good way to reinvent himself wherever he is to stay relevant.
I should read about it on Twitter. Oh, that's right. Can't do that.
I give him that. And when he said January 6th, my heart skipped a beat.
Coward should have leaned into it.
Coward.
Like, what now?
Coward.
And calling Jake Hager his ride or die.
Get real soon. Dustin Rhodes as he blew his ear out during the Archer match.
No, don't fight Lance Archer.
A little rupture eardrum.
It's a lesson for you.
Kyrie Sane suffered the same thing in her first match back in Stardom. Ruptured eardrum.
Jesus.
Abaddon on the newest Rhodes Wrestling Academy YouTube show. Wrestling match. They showcase the youngsters. Apparently she'll be wrestling as Abadust. And she has the full gold dust gimmick gifted to her by Dustin.
I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to when I get some spare time. But MJF's interview
with Ariel Helwani.
So good.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
It's he does. I mean, it's MJF, so of course it's great. But he weaves perfectly back and forth between storyline and then just real life, because it's the gimmick is him. Just, turned up a little bit. It's just, oh my God, it's so good.
And I want to give a special shout out to CM Punk and Dax Harwood for having a Who Loves Bret Hart More match on Dynamite.
So who does?
Well, Punk won.
Punk does.
So Punk, I guess.
I love what they're...
Hurry up first. Dax Harwood hates Bret Hart.
What they're doing with FTR, I love. So they interview him in the back, And
Don't say it out loud. The young bucks will hear that and they'll fucking stop.
oh yeah, that's right.
No, you hate what they're doing.
Yeah, I hate
Keep
what
doing
they're-
this.
I hate this.
This sucks.
What they did was they interviewed FTR in the back, and behind them on the garage door they were standing in front of, pink light. Because Brett's coming in to manage them guys. I don't know how long term it is, but Brett's coming in.
As Jack said, that they have a lot of heart.
Yeah.
And
If at one point that we don't get a frustrated isn't the goddamn word for it.
here's the thing.
I will
Here's the thing.
fucking lose it.
On this upcoming Dynamite, they're taking on the Gun Club. If they lose to the Gun Club, there's that line right there.
Yep. Frustrated isn't the goddamn word for it.
How do you feel
Tony.
about
First of all,
How do you feel about losing to the Ass Boys?
There it is.
How do you feel about losing to the Ass Boys?
Frustrated isn't the goddamn word for it, Tony. We're going to have to make some serious changes. I can't wait.
because you can say all that on TV now. You can say
Yeah.
bullshit on TV now. You do the whole promo on TV now.
Speaking of, I cringe because this is probably true. Knowing WWE and the way they love to appropriate pop culture sometimes when they get a hold of it. Sometime within the next month on Monday Night Raw, Cody Rhodes is telling somebody to take his wife's name out of their fucking mouth, isn't he?
1000%.
One more thing about the MJF. I guess him and TK got in a heated argument because MJF didn't tell them about the interview
Oh, really?
and didn't.
It's got to go through the office, bud.
He didn't notify AEW's public relations. The people the site spoke didn't believe there were having any issue with the interview or topics, but it wasn't brought to the PR team.
So if you watch the interview, it's on brand for everything he talked about in the interview. Yeah. He openly talked about his contract being up, the date. He openly said WWE multiple times. He's not. It's actually the one part of the interview that he came off the most real. He's not kidding. He's not signing a contract. He's going to test free agency. And he's going to get a fucking truckload of money.
He's not against it being AEW, but you're going to have to pay.
It's that weird thing of the fact that he's like,
He shouldn't have cleared it. So again, even until they're independent fucking contractors. They're not your employees. If you don't like that, make them your fucking employees.
You know what?
Save me with your fucking BS if you don't like it. Save it.
You know what I appreciate about him and meaning all that? You know me, I'm a Kevin Nash mark. It was all about the money and the miles.
He said it over and over. He's like, I'm not here because I love wrestling. I'm here because I'm earning a paycheck. I'm here to make money.
I mean, he loves
That's why I'm
wrestling,
here.
but
That's part of it.
But he's here to make the money.
Yep.
It's all about the money and the miles. The most money, the least miles. That's all it's about. It's Kevin Nash down to a T, and MJF hasn't figured out. He is going to get paid.
Oh my god.
yep.
I hope he stays where he's at.
For his success as a wrestler, yes, because he'll be on main
Don't
event.
want to see him in that fucking company.
They won't let him be MJF. He'll be
No, it'll be Miz.
He'll just be just Max.
he'll be like Miz's little brother. He'll have Max Mizanin and Maxwell Mizanin, MJM.
Jesus.
And they'll make him say that's
Because
awesome.
there isn't a single person in that company who could hold a candle to him on the mic.
Nope,
Not even Paul Heyman
Including-
could spar with him on the mic.
including the Miz.
Like, you don't want that smoke, dude. You're gonna write for MJF? That's what you're gonna do? Oh, okay.
A group of 48 riders to
Good luck with that.
no. He needs to. The best thing for his career is to stay where he is. The best thing for his bank account is to be determined.
Speaking of determine,
That head hit so hard.
we're going to determine the finals of our WrestleMania bracket as
Well, we didn't determine it.
the fans will.
The fans of No Cell Entertainment determined
No
it.
Cell Nation.
So in our final semifinal matchup, folks, for the greatest WrestleMania of all time, it was WrestleMania 3 versus WrestleMania 17. I mean, just a bananas matchup. That's fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll call it an upset. Your surprise winner here with 58% of the vote. WrestleMania 3.
To me, it's an upset. I'm happy.
Man.
But maybe the few people, or I said the few people voted, but the people who voted, maybe No Cell Nation skews a little older.
They might.
Could be.
They might.
Yeah.
So
I'm happy.
which means for your finals for the greatest WrestleMania of all time, we have WrestleMania 19 taking on WrestleMania 3.
Break down the cards
We should.
in chronological order. Or just...
Yeah, start with 3.
So WrestleMania 3, March 29th, 1987, from the Pontiac Silverdome, Pontiac, Michigan.
92,178.
Yeah, of course you know the deal.
Ish.
We have a brand new indoor attendance record.
Ish.
Bob Uecker, Mary Hart, Alice Cooper, the celebrity guests. Bob Uecker was phenomenal. Not only on this night, but in the weeks leading up. He did promos, pre-tapes. He was great. So here we go. Match number 1, the Can-Am Connection. Tom Zink and Rick Martel. Rick
Martel.
Taking on kind of a pretty badass tag team, really. Managed by Mr. Fuji, the Magnificent Morocco, and Ace Cowboy Bob Orton.
To Don Morocco.
Yeah, well, you know it is. Magnificent Morocco. The original Rock. Which did you...
That's Alcatraz, by the way.
It's a grunge thing. So, number 2.
Some kind of thing.
Billy Jack Haynes, proud native of Portland, Oregon.
Yep.
Let's look at that gear.
Yep.
Taking on the Mighty Hercules. Match number 3. How do I put this? Hillbilly Jim, Little Beaver, and the Haiti Kid.
Yep.
It's a big guy and 2 midgets.
Yep.
That's what they were called at the time.
Yep.
Against King Kong Bundy, Lord Littlebrook, and Little Tokyo. Again, this is where Bob Uecker shines. He's in commentary with Gorilla and Jesse.
I just watched this match.
Is he not hilarious?
He's hilarious in this match.
And it's everything. This match is everything you think it would be and more.
Yeah.
The loser must
Bunny's a
bow.
little stiff.
Yes. The next match, the loser must bow. King Harley Race against the Junkyard Dog. And then the Rougeau brothers, Jacques and Raymond, take on the Dream Team, Brutus Beefcake and Greg the Hammer Valentine, with Dino Bravo in their corner.
That's Joe's favorite team.
That is,
all time.
right? And then match number 6. You could almost call it a co-main. Almost. On any other card. Rowdy Roddy Piper taking on adorable Adrian Adonis in a hair match. The loser gets shaved. But it's also Rowdy Piper's retirement match.
Yeah.
A lot of emotion in this one. The crowd is going crazy. Piper was beloved. Let's put it as it is.
What, acting, right?
Yep. He shot where they live after this. Yep. Match number 7, 6-man tag as the British Bulldogs and Tito Santana take on tag team champions, the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart, and Dangerous Danny Davis, the heel referee that's now a wrestler. And then we have the Natural Butch Reed taking on...
He's over in Florida.
Yeah. Taking on Coco Beware in your obligatory WWF black on black match.
Oh, there's that.
You had to have it. Back then. You had to have it. Intercontinental title match, the one most people talk about from this night. Randy Macho Man Savage defending against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Work rate match. So, Corey, what'd you give that match? What's your rating for that match?
You know, I've always gone 4.
4 stars?
4 flat. Jake the Snake Roberts taking on the Honky Tonk Man.
It's a weird match.
It's a
weird match.
Weird match, but came out of... so just a little highlight on this one. He had an interview segment called The Snake Pit.
Yep.
And he interviewed Honky Tonk Man. And Jake had just turned babyface. And so Honky Tonk's supposed to hit him with his guitar. But it wasn't gimmicked. And he just...
Unloaded.
He fucking Giancarlo Stantoned Jake's head with this guitar and ruptured discs in the neck, and he was never the same again. So, yes.
Thanks, Honky Tonk.
Right? Thank you so much, Wayne Ferris. And then the Killer Bees take on Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov.
Who are the Killer Bees?
B. Brian Blair, Jumping Jim Brunzell, the Killer Bees.
Looks like Craig Biggio and Jeff Bagwell.
Okay tag team, but a little past their prime. And Jim Brunzell could go, had the best dropkick in the business. B. Brian Blair was as dull as fucking sand. It's like, my God, watching him. And they did a solo thing with him before teaming him up, so thank God. That ends up in a schmoz as Hacksaw Jim Duggan shows up to eradicate
Tough guy.
foreign heels from the WWF.
I checked it out. Oh.
And then the main event, of course, Hulk Hogan defeating Andre the Giant to keep the world title.
It's the match that solidified this company.
Yeah.
Nationally.
WrestleMania 1 solidified it as It wasn't just a fad for a year. It was here to stay. This match solidified as this is the preeminent company now, and nothing's going to fucking change it.
Yeah.
And nothing did. So that's WrestleMania 3.
It's not star power on that.
Well, no. There's a lot of star power, but there's not a lot of star matches.
Yeah.
Back then, it really was a practice, much like in boxing at the time. I don't know how it is now.
Oh, no, it's the exact same.
Oh, yeah. It's
a one-card mod
You
show.
just had one, maybe two matches that were a draw.
You had one that were sold the tickets, you hope something delivered in the ring.
Other than that, you were just...
It's the exact fucking same.
Yeah. In some ways, I miss days like that.
It's not great.
But
Give me UFC pay-per-views all day long.
Yeah.
Where you have 6 fucking banger-ass fights. Give me that all day long.
So speaking of that, WrestleMania 19.
Let's go to the UFC of WrestleMania here.
March 30th, 2003. Safeco Field, Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So before we
Fixed
forget, Sunday Night Heat for the World Tag Team titles from the Raw brand, RVD and Kane.
That's what?
Yeah, they made the Sunday Night Heat
One of a kind.
as tag champs. Defeated Lance Storm and Chief Morley.
It's Lance T-Storm. T stands for Thunder.
And Chief Morley, who was Val Venus. So there you go. And John Cena.
He's still there.
Yeah. Jesus. And John Cena hosted an open rap challenge. He challenged Luda and Jay-Z and
Fabulous and Eminem and somebody else.
Nobody showed up. One of them, the story is one of them was going to show up.
I believe it was Eminem. And he backed out at the end.
I thought it was Fabulous for some reason.
He backed out. John Cena was like, I'm going to fuck they win. I don't give a shit. I just want somebody to show up.
Yeah.
He didn't care if he lost.
He'd have lost. But I mean,
He didn't care.
But that was the whole point. So he did that on their fucking cutouts. He did a little, that was cool. And then the main card. Yeah, I know the World Tag Titles didn't make the main card. But this is a loaded card. Cruiserweight title match. Matt Hardy defends against Rey Mysterio. This is the absolute highlight of V1.
Yeah. What a great gimmick. Oh my God. He
was over. Ray was young still.
Ray still had something in the tank.
And they gave it 5 minutes.
That checks out.
Because of course they did. Because match number 2, Undertaker against Big Show and A-Train in a handicap match. Because Nathan Jones was so bad, they got scared of the idea of putting him on TV.
So there's that.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Then a triple threat match for the women's title: Trish Stratus, Victoria, and Jazz.
I'm all about Victoria.
Me too.
All about Victoria.
She had the tattoo theme song. Stevie Richards with her. Great presentation.
That's a. So I haven't watched 19 in a really long time. I think I'm gonna have to go back and give it a rewatch.
I recommend it. I recommend
have
it.
to go back because I don't remember. Like I didn't even know Kane and RV was a tag team. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yep.
The shit.
And then a triple threat match for the SmackDown tag team titles, as it's the world's greatest tag team: Shelton Benjamin, and Charlie Haas, against Los Guerreros and Chris Benoit and Rhino.
Well, 2 of those teams were pretty good. Then you have Chris Benoit and Rhino. That was weird, but
Gotta do something with them, I guess.
do you?
After Benoit had that awesome match with Angle at the Rumble, it would have been really hard not to have him on radio.
You know. I mean, yeah.
Then we got Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho. Shawn Michaels' first WrestleMania since 14 against the guy that a lot of people thought was taking his place back then in the late 90s.
Yep.
Great match. Fantastic match.
Is it better than the No Mercy match? In 08, Joe? 9?
No.
08?
I would say the latter match is better, but this isn't far behind.
This is a good match that doesn't involve the ladder.
Yeah. This isn't far behind. And then the World Heavyweight title match, Triple H.
Bit early in the show?
Triple H in his violet tights taking on Booker T.
Well,
And this is the only, what you could say, dark part of the show.
I mean, it's been talked about to death that Triple H should have lost. It just, you know.
Most people are more upset about the fact that it was a pedigree, waited an hour and a half, and then just put an arm over him and pin him. Like, Booker looked really weak.
Well, I mean, we honestly, even from this, we should have known what they were going to do with the Sting match in about a decade.
That's true.
They just buried WCW any fucking chance you get.
Then the match 20 years in the making, Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Mr. McMahon. My favorite McMahon match of all time.
Yeah?
Yep.
Even more than St. Valentine's Massacre?
Yep. I didn't like that much.
Really?
And I thought it was okay. I actually think, in a weird way...
Rumble 99 is your favorite? You go to?
No. I think the Steel Cage hurt that.
Really?
Yeah. I would have preferred the two
I
of
love
them.
it so much.
I would've
and
preferred
it
the
was
two of
the painful still hitch.
Yeah,
this wasn't hurt.
It was the bad one. And he broke his tailbone.
Well, he's old.
Well, he took that bump out to the fucking table.
Of course, they let it break because it's such a man.
Right.
That fucking table never breaks.
But yeah, this is my favorite of them. And then The Rock takes on Stone Cold. Austin's last match.
Their final match,
Yep.
their trilogy for Manias.
Really felt like the end of an era. And then the main event for the WWE title, Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar, which we really thought was the start of an era with these two main eventing. And instead it was the start
turns out,
and the end.
Start and the end real quick. Real quick.
So yeah, those are the two cards. I mean, one is more jam-packed than the other, but both good in their own ways.
They are two different eras. Oh my God.
in fact,
They are
you know
two
what?
different eras.
These two shows, more than anything, might show you the difference in the two eras perfectly.
Yeah. So they're 16 years apart? Am I doing
Yep.
my math right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can go vote now. It's up and running on No Cell ENT at Twitter. We already have a couple votes up, so it's already 50-50.
Damn.
I voted for 12.
There it is.
I voted for 2. Is that a problem?
I voted for 12. It's fine with me.
I voted 9 times.
What? We only have 2 votes, Joe.
He's good at math.
Yeah. 9, 10, 11.
All right, Steiner.
Well, see, you ain't got a chance of winning this.
Sucker.
I think we give him a live mic.
I hope so.
I mean,
Let me fucking
can't.
talk.
You can't, right?
Thank you for this honor. I'm really happy to be here.
Is that one they don't show on TV and they show it later?
It's on the Peacock. I
Yeah.
think.
It'll be on.
And also, fuck Triple H. You know it's gonna happen.
How's that Heart Hunter?
Yeah.
that was my 2 cents in my conversation
My God.
of what he would say, and
Fuck you, big nose man.
but we have a long week of wrestling, like
Oh,
a lot of wrestling.
time of
It's
the
that
year.
time of the year. So I'll let you guys know now. Next week here, there won't be any war stories because we'll be catching up on all the wrestling that we.
ooh. But another jam-packed no-sell podcast next week.
Another jam-packed.
Recapping the
all
world,
of-
apparently.
yeah, all
Just
of this
the world.
week. But we'll be doing in 2 weeks. We'll be doing the pay-per-view war stories, which we will be talking about WWF SummerSlam 2000.
There it is.
And then I've started the trek, and oh my goodness, I thought I was watching the wrong episode
Yeah.
for Nitro. So next week here, No So Podcast, the review of ROH, GCW, WrestleManias, NXT, Impact. That's 6, 7. That's right there, and that's not including the death matches at midnight. Joey Janela's clusterfuck. Morbius. Fake movie experts. We just unveiled the Batman, and we're starting the Batman franchise now. So upcoming week, it's Batman 1989 being released. Find out what we thought about that. Wow. But you can go to nocellentertainment.com. That's right, nocellentertainment.com, where you can find all of our blogs, all of the podcasts, everything that we do for you. Then, the whole I love you because you love me Bischoff line, right? Is that how it's done?
I thought you were doing Barney.
I love you.
There it is.
But what I do love is
Nice.
No Cell Entertainment on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, baby.
That's right.
But you can also listen to all of our podcasts wherever you listen to your podcasts.